Hey everybody, it's me, Melody. Welcome to my stream. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you share to all of your platforms. Now, I'm sitting here working and, I was looking at my phone and I read what TMZ had to say. So it really didn't sit right with me. Now, I'm not going to just sit here and blame anyone for anything, but I'm going to give my honest opinion on it. It does sound a little suspicious. So, pretty much, TMZ is saying that they got a call from a woman who she's a nurse, but she just met Kevin Samuels. And apparently, she spent the night with him. She just met him Wednesday. She spent the night with him, and basically they were saying that he was injured for whatever reason, but she said the reason he was injured is because he fell on top of her. Now, I don't know, it just that story just don't sound right to me. We already know how black women feel. Not even black women. We already know how women feel in general about Kevin Samuels. So you never know. And I don't want to put that out there that she did anything, but it is a possibility that something could have happened because I watched a live stream the night before with Kevin Samuels and he seemed fine. He seemed totally fine. He seemed healthy. There was nothing off about him. He was fine. But as soon as he meets a woman Wednesday night, Thursday morning, he's gone. And they said he was injured at that. And then she said he fell on top of her. So even if he did fall on top of her, wouldn't she cushion him? Wouldn't she be the cushion so he won't hurt himself? I don't know. This just sounds crazy. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I know that article I just read, they said he was found injured. It was a TMZ article. I don't know how true it is, but I'm just putting out there possibilities. Because like I said, the live show he did yesterday, the day before yesterday, whenever that was, he was totally healthy looking. He was totally fine. So I guess we have to see what the autopsy says, but it was just a little weird to me. It just didn't sit right with me. Exactly, Mr. Logic. She should have been hurt too. Exactly. That's what I said. Jessica X says, no, it didn't say that. It said that's what it was listed as. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know, but it just, I don't know. I saw it. I had to go live. I had to take my lunch. I can't stay on here for long. I only got an hour, but it just triggered me because something's just not sitting right with this whole situation. I just hope she didn't do anything crazy because if she did, that would be really messed up. What do you mean, come on, stop doing that? Not cool. What's not cool? Me reporting my opinion like everybody else on YouTube do? I mean, I just have an opinion and it is strange. And like I said, I wasn't there. I'm not God. So I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. Exactly, Mr. Logic. It is still strange. Like, it's just strange because he was fine, but I don't know how heart attacks work. Maybe you can be fine 1 minute and the next minute gone. I don't know how it really works. I'm not a doctor. I just know this just not sitting right with me at all. Hi, Game Changer. Salute to you. Exactly, Madara. Yeah, something is not right with this whole situation. But we have to sit around and we have to wait for the autopsy to see. Because, like I said, none of us are doctors, none of us are God. We weren't there, but we'll see what happened. Exactly, Jessica. We will wait and see. We'll wait till the autopsy come out. I'm just giving my opinion on what I think happened. I don't know, but the way TMZ had worded it just had me alarmed. I was like, whoa, what is going on here? You know, everybody's a suspect until proven innocent. Salute to you, Brenda. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I hope we get the details because I don't want to wait too long. Like, my cousin just passed away not too long ago, and they're talking about the autopsy is going to take up to 6 months, which don't really sound right because he was only 40 years old and he just dropped dead out of nowhere. So I don't understand why his autopsy is going to take 6 months, but hopefully Kevin's come right away because I really want to know what's going on. J-Lock says she's a nurse also, I heard. I got a pic of her, Melody. Yeah, I mean, I heard she was a nurse too. I read all of that on TMZ. Salute to you, Jay Skywalker. Jay, young J216 says nobody finds it weird that he says he was 53. All the sources say he's 56. And today is 5-6. All right, I don't believe in all of those conspiracies. I don't believe in with the numbers and all that. But yeah, this is really crazy. Yeah, I hope nothing is hidden too. I'm just not I'm just not feeling this at all. So I'm gonna drop the link and I want to hear you guys' opinion. And no, don't send me any super chats today because I'm not trying to make any money. I just want to really get you guys' opinion. So you guys don't have to send me any money, no super chats or anything like that. Just come up and speak your mind. This is just a conversation I want to have while I'm on lunch. But do not super chat me. I'm gonna drop the link and let me hear your opinion. Hold on 1 second. Okay, guys, so the link is there. Come up and give your opinion on a situation and let me know what you think happened. And all of this is just opinion, guys. None of this is facts. None of this is facts at all. I'm just saying from how I feel is very suspicious. But none of us is going to know anything until the autopsy comes. But come up and let me know what you think about the article.
Hey, Melody.
Hi, J-Lock.
It's been a while since I talked to you.
I know. How are you today?
Just feel a little bit down. The situation happened.
Yeah, me too. It's
Lost
not
people.
it's not a great thing. It's awful.
Yeah. Um. What I think is that TMZ sometimes is accurate. Sometimes they be accurate. The thing is that I want to know how did he met this woman and what. And when I heard my sources, I'm in another group. They're saying that she's a nurse and a escort also as well, allegedly a escort. So um, that's kind
I,
of strange that he fell on top of her. He just all of a sudden had a heart attack. Something's going on. Something
yeah,
is weird about that.
he just fell right on top of her. it don't even sound right to me. Not saying it's not true, you know. Allegedly he did fall on top of her. We don't know that. It just don't sit right with me. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope the autopsy be accurate because by her being a nurse, by her being a nurse, I'm wondering if he has any knife wounds that they
No,
don't see.
I
You think
don't
that?
I don't think she used a weapon or anything like that on him. But since she's a nurse, she may know, you know, I don't want to put that out there like that, but she may know how to, I don't want to say, but she may
Mm.
know how to do things to knock you out. Put it like that.
No, I know what you mean because pressure points and body pressures. Yeah, of course. That's one thing I understand. I just like I wish he was way more careful if that is the case, if that does come out, because I thought he died in his apartment alone. I didn't know he was with somebody. Because I
No,
was
I
like,
didn't know either till I read this article today. And I'm not going to say TMZ is accurate. I don't even know if they're really accurate,
well,
but this is what I'm reading.
what I'm saying, my sources say that also. You say you don't get conspiracies, but guess what though? There's a lot of women that do witchcraft out here and do certain type of things to assassinate you and
Mm.
wish ill will. So um they was looking for his downfall, but this is tragic.
It is
What they
tragic.
yeah. Because
But
today I saw something today that was really disturbing. They said, Mother's Day is coming up. This week is Mother's Day, the week, and they was saying like, this is a gift for Mother's Day. See how God works.
mhm.
See, they was saying that it was Mother's Day. He got killed during the week of Mother's Day. They said that it was a blessing for him to get pass away like that. That was just
Oh
evil.
God, that's just evil. Like I felt like vomiting when I heard some of the things these BWs were saying, and not only BWs, BMs as well. Like everybody who don't agree with his message was saying some awful things that made me sick to my stomach. And I can't believe a human being could even say these things about another human being. To me, it's really morbid to talk about the deceased like that.
Mm. I wonder his somebody's close to him. I think it's Solo 87. I think it's Solo. They say his mother's gonna speak out about it, about how his passing away. I'm not sure about that's. I saw a video of it. I saw like not the actual. I seen somebody was gonna do a video about his mother, so talk to him about him passing away. So it's a
Yeah,
lot of things going. There's a lot of things going on, but I hope the autopsy comes out as accurate as it is. I hope it's just a normal heart attack, stroke, instead of he got poisoned
me too. Oh my
by a
God, me
lace.
too. I really hope that it was natural. Like if it was just his time, because I'm not religious or anything like that, but we never know when it's time to go. We don't know when it's our time. You know what I mean? Like it can be any time. And he could have, people say he was drinking a lot of Red Bulls and he was always on a run. He never got any sleep. This is some of the things I was hearing. So it could have been natural. But then again, we do have to look at all of the sides of things. Like that just to me, that just don't sit right with me. A woman up in his apartment and then the next day he's gone. I don't know. And like I said, this is all my opinion. None of this is true. None of this is, I'm not saying the woman definitely did anything to him. I'm not putting that out there at all. I want everybody to know that. This is just me speculating, like what's going on. I'm just looking at it from my lens and telling you how I feel about the situation. And it just don't seem right. And I can be dead wrong, but you never
I,
know
I
until the
mean,
autopsy
no,
is.
you're not there. Like, guess what? This man, we saw this man yesterday hopping around a chair, moving around his shit
Right.
on Instagram and dancing on top of stuff like that. Next thing you know, he's dead. Something is wrong with that. Something is up with that. That doesn't happen out of the ordinary. That just don't happen like that at
It
all.
did.
That is all. And the thing is that besides Red Bull part, I don't think you gotta drink enough Red Bull to actually like does that to you. But I don't know. I digress. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. It's just like it's kind of like I can almost say assassination attempt. I mean, assassination basically that we don't know how they as he got this person got
Right.
killed or passed away. It's kind of like spooky kind of
Right.
certain in a certain type of way. But it's a lot of things going on, right? There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of women that's praising the shit, and that's and not and a lot of people are upset because now you have to look at it now. A lot of guys, a lot of black men that looking at the that his death, that's mourning his death. A lot of men and women, a lot of black men are saying like, you know, they're watching this event occurs happen of people he's dying. They saying that they are never they you think this is going to be bad now? They wasn't going to date or mess any black women now. They certainly not going to mess with them today. I mean, at all. Because
Right.
it's because I don't know if you were looking at social media, but there's a huge uproar. There's a huge wrath of black men. They said they are standing there. Is definitely not going to date no black woman after they are fooling and clowning Kevin Samuels death. They said
Yeah.
they are definitely not going to support them. They are definitely not going to protect, nor have sex with them, nor give them any money, nor resource, no none of that. They
Listen, it's
said,
definitely not a good look for us black women. It's definitely not. Black women keep embarrassing themselves. Like every time you turn around, black women are embarrassing themselves. And here I am, a black woman, and people look at me crazy because I'm part of them. So it's just, to me, it's just mind boggling. It's mind blowing what these black women are doing right now, what they're saying about Kevin Samuels and what, I don't know. Even yesterday when I went live, I did my stream. I was lost for words. Like, if you notice, I can barely even speak. Last
yeah,
night,
I noticed that. Yeah.
it was ridiculous. Like,
And,
very
and,
embarrassing.
And there's a lot of people, and I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people that was close to him. That's crime. Anton, Obsidian, Donovan Sharper's on right now, actually talking about it. He had a first episode of how he met Kevin Samuels on his podcast. It's a lot of people that's reminiscing about it, about how they miss him and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that wanna that
Yeah.
want that back again. So, and also, I'm gonna say it is though. You're gonna have to separate. If that's the case, if that's gonna happen. The last thing he said, Kevin Samuel said that he said if the sisters ain't acting right over here, he said he encouraged brothers to to go overseas with their passports, to get their passports together and go overseas. That was the last thing he said. Now, I
Right.
promise you, it's gonna take effect right now. It's gonna take effect because I'm telling you. Melody, I'm you're not in that group category, but you're gonna have to like, hey, I'm not with them. I'm not with
Mhm.
them. I'm not with that group of black women over there. I'm my own individual. You're gonna have to because guess what? It's gonna be it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be hell right now, Melody. So you're gonna see it on the internet. It's gonna be a whole bunch of black dudes not gonna be procreating with black women no more after this. They
Right.
not
Exactly.
They said we're not gonna stand by because they was like, well, this is y'all dad. Y'all act like he y'all father or something like that. Y'all act like y'all daddy passed away. And to tell you the truth, that was the Godfather. That was a person that we looked up to. That was an uncle. That was somebody that was close to that understood us as men. But you know, that was somebody that was something that was close by us that people almost committed suicides if they didn't listen to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah. Kevin Samuels helped a lot of people, especially black women. Because even me, a lot of the things that Kevin Samuels, and I'm not even going to just say Kevin Samuels, I'm going to say all the men in the manosphere. A lot of the stuff y'all say is true, and it taught me a lot about myself. Because I'm not going to lie, before I started coming to this space, I did think like those women. I really did. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I thought, hey, I can do this, I can do that. Like, I thought, hey, I'm a party. I thought I really did have these thoughts in my head. But when I came here, it humbled me. It made me realize, okay, being a woman, I can't act like this. I've always been submissive, but I still had those modern woman thoughts in my head, like things I want to do and stuff like that. But it really did humble me. It really did, listening to Kevin Samuels and the guys in his space. I'm gonna be honest with you. So,
That's all he did. He did out of love. I mean, he did out of respect. He did out of passion. Who's not going to tell you but your own? Who's not going to tell you but somebody that loves y'all, that loves black women? He said it himself because why would black women have this? He was like he was talking about how he's overweight. He did that because to make you see that it's unhealthy for that lifestyle. It's this time to get yourself together. That was the reason why he said it. He did it out of spite of love instead of sugarcoating it and making it drive over a cliff and being a yes man. Because you could easily be a yes man and get all a whole bunch of black women money, but he did it the hard way. He challenged it. He challenged women how they mannerism, they thought, and he challenged uh that he was women's agenda or what they motives are. That's what he did. He make you to be better, not to and to do better, not to shame you, not to put people down. So
right,
that's the whole part. That was the whole part. That was the whole purpose of doing that. But now that he's gone, who's gonna do that?
exactly.
Now
Well,
who's gonna?
hopefully,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, what were you saying? I don't want to cut you off.
No, I was saying now that he's gone, who's the younger generation is gonna listen to?
Well,
The ones the
hopefully,
babies after.
well, hopefully he paved the way for other men to be able to speak out because we already know that men's platforms hardly ever get heard, only women's platforms. So with Kevin Samuels doing what he did, let's hope that other men can do the same thing and get it out. And I know that's what the guys here are trying to do, but maybe someone else will blow up and be able to continue on his message. Who knows? But he did do a lot of good in the community. So I do
He
thank
did.
him for that.
Yeah, he did, and I hope it's not gonna be another person like him or replace him. Because I don't know if you've seen the video, Angry Man video, but Angry Man, him and Angry Man had a feud,
Hmm.
and uh, Angry Man was kind of sitting in the car, barely talking. He was talking, but he wasn't talking for a long period of time. But he was just sitting there. I mean, he was just sitting there, just reminiscing, thinking. I know he was hurt. I know he had a disagreement or fallout with Kevin Samuels back then, but he didn't wish that man to die. He didn't wish that man to go like that. He
No, of
didn't want to.
course
He
not.
didn't want to end man because he was sitting in the car. He was when he was announcing that Kevin Samuels died, and he was just sitting there in the car at day and night. He was sitting there to day at nighttime, and
Hmm.
he was just like he was like and now I realize it. I think if brothers have a disagreement or fallout with somebody that's used to be close to your friends with someone you work with, don't let that ego or personal take it personal. Don't let that ego get to you because guess what happens with that person that you had an argument with 4 or 5 years ago? They're gone, and you can't apologize to them or squash that beef that you had instead of working on each other.
Exactly.
And then that's what happened to my friend when I got sick. I don't know if you remember when I was sick last year. I think I told you about our friend of mine's died, and our friend, that friend of a friend of mine's died. And they both was friends, and they had a fallout back in like 6 years ago.
Hmm.
And he never talked to him since. And then the guy that was trying to reach out to him, befriend him, he never accepted his friend request. I never talked to him. So months later, he got killed.
Oh my God. So sorry about that.
So that's why I was sick, and I was also depressed because he got killed. And my friend was like crying because he didn't get a chance to say sorry back to him or uh squash that disagreement or beef they had.
Hmm.
So it's so much it's one thing that you have a part you get into an argument with somebody that you're best friends, used to be best friends with, and then they're gone the next day, a couple months or years later. And then you remember what conversation you had with them, and
Yep.
you never addressed that issue.
You're right. You're so right about that. That happens all the time. It'd be brothers and sisters beefing with each other, family members. And then when someone passes away, you regret that. You regret not having conversations with them and making up. You regret that, and you do see it way too much. Like I said, my cousin just passed away, 39 years old. Well, I'm sorry, 40. He was 40 years old, healthy, just like Kevin Samuels, a healthy man, dressed properly. He was a good guy. I just saw him 2 nights before he passed. He was fine. I saw him. This was around my birthday. I was having a birthday party. He was dancing, having a good time. Nothing was wrong with him. This is a man that's in shape. And like 2 days later, he was gone, dead. He just passed away in his car. Nobody know what happened to him. And still didn't get the autopsy back yet. This happened in March. So it's just sad. And there's so many things I didn't say to my cousin that I wish I would have said. And his two brothers wasn't talking to him at the time. So now they regret it. So it's very, very important that any grudges we have with each other, let's just squash them. It's not worth it. It's not worth losing someone and never being able to see him again. Cause then you start feeling guilty. We're like, damn, maybe we should have made up. And that's what I'm seeing happening now in the space. A lot of guys who did have problems with Kevin Samuels feel like shit right now because he's gone.
Hmm.
But I really do respect Angry Man. Angry Man, if you're listening, I really, really, really respect your show that you had yesterday because you were real mature about it. You was blocking any trolls in the chat saying anything negative about Kevin Samuels. I noticed that you was like, get him out of my chat. You was being really, really, really mature. And I really do appreciate that because you didn't have to say anything about it. Life is too short. Like, if you beefing with anybody in your family or any friends, make up with them now because life is too short. It really is.
Mm.
And thanks for
Yeah,
subscribing, Savvy J215. I really appreciate you.
yeah, but that's all I have to say, Melody. I don't want to be up here too long, but yeah, that's all I have to say. Though. So you know, hopefully, everybody get together and because I know O'Shea lost two people. One was the African guy from King Uganda,
Oh yeah.
and now he lost somebody else close to him. So O'Shea gonna take it hard. O'Shea definitely gonna take it hard. I'm seeing
Hmm.
posting videos up, but I don't know if he talking about it. But O'Shea lost two favorite people of his that was close to. I don't think O'Shea gonna be the same. I don't know if O'Shea gonna be the same person or not. So yeah, but that's all I have to say though. So
Well, thank you for coming up. I really do appreciate it, J-Lock.
you're welcome.
Um, yeah, we just have to pray and hope for the best because I already lost like 4 people this year, including Kevin Samuels. I feel like I lost somebody because I stayed watching his content. I stayed watching him at night before I go to bed every night. He's entertaining, let's be honest. So I love to put him on and seeing him having these conversations with women and learning. new things about myself. I learned so much about myself by watching him. And I'm going to really miss that. I really am. Like, I literally almost cried last night, but I held it together. But yeah, I'm really, really, really going to miss Kevin and his message. Um, and I'm on my lunch break right now. I'm about to go back. Got to be back at 2:15. So, anybody want to come up and anybody have anything positive to say about Kevin Samuels? Hit the link. I have 15 minutes left, so hit the StreamYards link and come up and say what you got to say about him. Also, like I said, please don't think I'm up here spreading rumors because I'm not. I'm just literally telling you my opinion, what I think could have happened. This is not real. This is not real news. So don't sit here and take what I'm saying and go back and start telling everybody, oh, this woman did this to him. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there is a possibility that something else could have happened in Kevin Samuels' apartment. A big possibility. Not saying it did happen, so please don't go back and start saying that, oh, Melody said this and Melody said that. No, I'm just telling you what I think happened from the TMZ article that I read. But since nobody wants to come up, I'm going to shut it down. I appreciate everybody for coming and supporting. Hopefully we get some answers from this whole thing because I want to know. And I'm going to make sure I keep my ears open. And if I hear anything, I'll be the first to go live. But again, thank you guys so much for coming. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe. Also, make sure you share on your platforms. And the most important thing, hit that like button. Hit the like button because it helps me out in the algorithm. Oh, wait, I think I have someone coming up. Who is this? I don't know who this is, so I'm going to bring you up. Barbara, I'm sorry, I said your name. I'm so sorry. I'm going to bring you up and I'm going to put a banner. I think I said your real name. I'm sorry. But hold on, let me bring you up and put my banner up. So just in case you're a troll, nothing shows. Give me 1 second. Put my banner up. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to let you up.
No, I am not a troll. I wanted to speak on Kevin Samuels. I'm not a troll, and I don't mind that you call me by my government name.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yes, I am not anonymous. I do not mind. I have my own page, and I have my name on my page.
Okay. Sorry. But you can go ahead.
I caught you late because I wanted to have a discussion about Kevin Samuels because I want people to stop disrespecting this man's soul. I am someone that did not agree with his content whatsoever, but it's a point and there's a limit to things.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100%. I mean, those comments were outrageous. Did you see all the comments?
No, and I'm hearing about them and I find it to be godless. But
Yes.
let me explain why Black women are so have so much hatred. I believe that his content destroyed a lot of relationships, demeaned a lot of women, put them and made them psychologically, mentally ill by making them depressed and feeling less than. Now, there are other manosphere men that I didn't used to agree with, but then for them to bring awareness about the sluts and hoes that exist, the godless women, it's healthy for young men to be aware of what these sluts and hoes are doing. But when a woman receives redemption and redeems herself, that's where I feel that Kevin Samuels was more of a swindler. And what I hate is that the internet always allow the Black woman to be slandered. That could not have been done to any other race of women but the Black woman. So For him to demean a woman, like I'm saying, a woman was young, she had a child out of wedlock. For him to make other men feel that she's worthless is wrong. When she now is, redeemed her life and now is living a righteous life, for her to be deemed worthless to the community of black men was wrong. And this is why a lot of women was having hatred for Kevin Samuels, but they must not curse their own soul. Now let's put limitations to things and know that life is eternal and people's souls live on. And I want to point out how Kevin Samuel's mother needs to have an investigator investigate and sue the police department and also the hospital for leaking this man information. Thank you.
Well, thanks for your opinion on that. I honestly don't think, I don't get mad, but I honestly don't think Kevin is trying to bash these women or make them feel bad. I think he's sincerely trying to help them. He was sincerely trying to help them.
I feel he swindled them and he was using them as a clown. And I don't feel that's helping a person when you're doing that.
Mhm. Yeah, I gotta disagree, but I do respect your opinion. I really do.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
very much. And thank
welcome.
you for your platform space.
Oh, I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody that comes up. So yeah, thanks for that. And we have
Okay.
somebody else on the panel. His name is Ron Isley. Hi, Ron
I'm
Isley.
actually a woman, but
Oh, hi.
hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well enough. Well, I just called to talk about Kevin Samuels and the way people are, I guess, receiving the news of his death.
Mhm.
Like some people are kind of, glad or relieved that he's passed on. And, you have some groups of people that are, surprised and shocked by his passing.
Mhm.
But the average life expectancy of a black man is like, less than 60 years. So I don't see how this is so surprising to people.
It's surprising because he was a healthy man. I
But
just
you don't know him.
Well, he seemed very healthy. I mean, I was watching him. I just watched him. What was it? 2 days ago, and he
Mm-hmm.
seemed fine. Like he didn't seem like there was anything wrong with him. He looks like he's fit, like he's in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
He
just
was sponsoring Red Bull, and I have experienced Red Bull allegedly making people very, very sick. I said allegedly for your page, but
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Red Bull sponsored him, and Red Bull was the death of him, allegedly, in my opinion.
right. And that's what it's all about, opinions. None of this is facts. I'm gonna keep saying that because I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to spread anything. None of this is facts. They're all just opinions, and I do
Mm-hmm.
respect everybody's opinion. But I have someone else. Let me put the banner up so I can bring him up. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me put up this banner. Wait, what the? Okay. Hey, what's your name? Jaron127?
Oh yeah, that's me. How you
Hi.
doing?
Good. Hi. Welcome.
Thank you,
So,
thank you. How's everybody on the panel doing?
good.
That yeah, that's fine.
So, what's your opinion on this whole thing?
I'm getting the best. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you wasn't a troll. Let me take the banner down.
No, it's
So,
not a
this
troll.
conversation. Okay.
My opinion is, I hate to see any I, hello.
Yes,
Are
we
you
can hear you.
stopping?
Okay, I'm getting a so should I go out?
It's cutting out.
Yeah, you can go out and come back.
Okay.
Maybe that'll work. Okay. While he's doing that, anybody else had anything to add?
Just that he probably should have focused on men's health more.
Yeah, I mean, he could have added that. I liked what he did. I
Mhm.
think the message was really good and it was really getting to people.
Mhm.
But he could have added men's health as well.
Right. Especially since, black men, they have the shortest life expectancy of anyone. Black women, Asian men and women, white men and women.
Mhm.
Black men are right at the bottom of that. So, I mean, his appearance of being healthy, he could have just appeared to be healthy, but I heard he was a cancer survivor and he was also
Mhm.
drinking 6 Red Bulls a day. And there's a
Right.
warning on the can. So I'm surprised that someone who purports himself as a scholar or knowledgeable in any subject or, about how others look, it's not about how you look because internally he wasn't doing so well. And he
Mhm.
should have read the back of that can because it says, do not consume. Definitely not that much, any
Right.
person, I mean, that would be any normal person would not drink 6 Red Bulls a day, but I
Right.
don't know.
Well, yeah, he was a busy man. That's what I'm thinking. And he was trying to keep himself woke at all times because he never slept. It didn't seem like he ever got any sleep.
Well, how often have you watched him? How often, or what was your extent of you following him?
Well, I've been watching him for 2 years, even before he blew up on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. And he always stream. He always go live. If he's not live on YouTube, he's on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And he also said he was talking to a lot of black men about business.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you ladies know, but it wasn't only the women that he was getting on, it was the men too. But a lot of times people are just trying to make it seem like he's attacking black women, but that wasn't the case.
Mm-hmm.
He also got on black men as well. So, yeah, I don't know.
When I first seen his page, I felt of sorrow because I said, here's a man that could really make a positive change, but he's using his platform to explain it in a negative manner, and that's what condemned and hurt the society. And if you are convincing people that another person is worthless, you are condemning the society.
Well, he was probably doing it for money. He may not
Definitely.
have even believed what he was saying. There's lots of people that do that. And he probably preyed on fatherless people who were looking to be raised after they were an adult.
Yeah, well, they wanted validation that they wasn't worthless, but he didn't tell the men to put a cap on it, that they was causing the homeless child, the fatherless child, just telling, oh, beware, don't run into that one. And no, but
Yeah, he did
but
counsel. I'm sorry to cut you off, but he did counsel men.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I can pull it up. I don't have my computer with me. I only have my phone, but he did counsel men as well. I mean, like I said, I've been following him before he blew up. So I did see, before he blew up, he was only speaking to men. And he was speaking about like perfume and stuff cologne. I'm sorry, cologne.
yep,
And he
that's
was
what
speaking to men.
I just felt like for the college young woman that was in college that may have got unfortunately pregnant or unexpected pregnancy would have chose to terminate because of Kevin Samuel teachings instead of giving life and learning redemption. That was my problem with Kevin Samuel.
Yeah.
But Kevin Samuels doesn't control anyone. I mean, you can choose to take his advice, but he doesn't control anybody other than himself.
The manosphere out there was very controlling. This internet is very subliminally brainwashed. Yeah, a lot of people are brainwashed by these internets.
Well, real quick, ladies, I have two new people on the panel. So let me get to who's the other person? Did he leave? I think he left. Okay, so let's get to Game Changer. Hi, Game Changer.
Hey, Melody.
Hey. So what is your take on this conversation?
So I think that because these ladies don't, they're saying things that are not really favorable to Kevin Samuels, that they should be dropped.
Why?
I just said why.
We're
Yeah,
entitled
why
to
do you
our
feel that way?
opinion.
You said that we should be dropped, but
I'm
why
not
do
going
you
to
feel
answer these
that way?
stupid questions.
Well, you coming on
So
here
I
doing
came
that
up to
is
suggest that to
disrespectful.
Melody.
Oh, well, that's great. Thank you for your opinion.
Well, do you ladies have anything positive to say about Kevin Samuels?
Yes, he was a black man. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Can everybody hear me now clearly?
Yeah, let me get Jerron's take on this.
All right. So I am, like, my full name is Jerron Presents MOG Men of God Studio. So I'm approaching this with a biblical perspective. And of course, I didn't agree with everything Kevin said or did, especially with a lot of the gaslighting that was going on with his channel a lot of the times. But he was allowed to operate in this particular time because it boils down to the men. We need our men to be men again, right? It's not about necessarily the women per se. The women, they're gonna fall in line with whatever the man is gonna do. But a woman is not gonna follow a man that is not being a man. You know, you got a lot of men out here nowadays, and some women may disagree, but a lot of these young men out here today that are soft and not really manly like they should is because they were raised by women. And this is some of the things that he did touch on at various times. And of course, you have exceptions to the rule. There are some great men that were raised by women, but the bottom line is it takes a real man to raise another man in the way he should be as a man. And we're not talking about the toxic masculinity and all of that kind of stuff. We're talking about a godly man. So meaning he takes care of his business. He takes care of his wife, he takes care of his kids, and he's on his job when it comes to and is how
You're
his
bored.
channel really started. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear
phone
the
got
last
cut out.
part. You were Borgen.
Oh, okay. Well, I was saying that that's pretty much how his channel initially started was, he's essentially consulting males, getting their image up because over the last decade plus, I want to say maybe 15 years, we see women in general just leveling up, getting degrees, going into all of these professions that in general most men don't typically do because most men don't typically care for higher education. Most men are typically just looking to graduate high school, get a trade, and go on about their business. But the times that we're in now, things have changed clearly. We're in a society where you have to have credentials behind your name in order to make a mark sometimes. So this is the thing. This is kind of how his channel started. And it's not just him. There's another channel. You guys may or may not have heard of him. His Alpha Male Strategies. These
I've never
men,
heard of it.
they are trying to help men, and it's basically just barbershop talk. This is stuff that a lot of us have already heard from our uncles, our dads. They've said the exact same thing, but it's a way to just get us back to the basics because we've lost that over time in this generation of men. We've lost what makes a man a man. We've lost it. And society, they kind of beat men down for wanting to be men. Instead, they want men to be soft, and that's not the way men were created, and that's not the way men should be. Men have a role, women have a role. You know what I mean? And in society, they don't want us to have that. They say, no, there are no gender roles and all of this. Yes, there is. It's always going to be gender roles because that's the way the Lord created it to be. So we have to honor that structure.
And I think that's all Kevin Samuels is trying to let the women know. There are gender roles. You have to play your role. Play your role. That's all. I don't think he was trying to make any woman feel bad about herself. He just want her to play her role. get in shape. You know, he was a little
Right.
harsh with it, but that's what he wanted.
And that's where I was disagreeing with him a lot on, because like one of the other panelists said, if you're trying to help somebody, there's a way to do it, with tough love, but then there's also that other side where you're doing it with venom. And he was being a little venomous at times when he's trying to help them. And that is why so many women dislike this man. You know what I mean?
Hey yo,
Because
you
it's
hey
too
yo
much.
man, you talking about
go.
venomous?
Mel, my love, I'm sorry. I want to go in order. Can I go in order? I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
go in
Melanie.
order.
Please let me go because
You're gonna. I know, but hold on.
yeah,
Hold on.
I'm riding on people today, yo, for real.
I know, Mel, but please, you know how we do. You know we cool. Let's just give other people a chance, and then you can go. Okay.
Quick as fuck. I heard the last two bitches saying they shit, yo,
Wait,
for real.
Mel,
Excuse
please.
me?
Mel.
Go control your Twitter.
Mel.
I'm sorry, but your Obama
Mel,
phone is
let's just.
breaking up.
I want to have a regular
I'm gonna
conversation.
stay right here until she do, because
Mel,
I
let's just chill out.
Conversation not going to be regular.
Mel,
He's on
Mel,
his
your
way.
mic is messed up.
Control yourself, Mel, and then you'll be. I promise.
Mel, your mic is messed up.
Real quick, Mel, mute and scream. Okay, just get it. Just because I know how Mel is. He's real passionate. He's upset. So just
so
mute.
are we.
Yeah, so mute
Like an
and
angry
scream, Mel.
single
Okay,
mother.
just do me that
I'm
favor.
not upset the same reason I am, so don't compare me upset to y'all.
Mel, all right. Let me get to the next person, which is Young East. Okay, it's gonna be
Young East. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, it's gonna be Young East, Dr. Thunder, then you. Okay, go ahead, Young East.
I disagree with the man of God. I think men do want higher education. I think women get way more incentives, to pursue higher education. I disagree with that. But as far as what TMZ said, like if it is murder, because that's what it sounds like to me. If it's murder, bro, I'm just like, I didn't think he had that type of enemy. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't think it was that serious, because everybody talks shit on YouTube and all on other social media platforms. So I thought it was just like regular stuff, but obviously something went down. He was injured. I'm like, man, in normal situations like this, the police will lie. Anytime there's an incident where somebody's murdered and they feel like that person had friends and those friends would retaliate, the police will lie. That's where the whole Black Lives Matter with that one girl that died. What's her name? I think she was that black girl. She died. She let that white guy in her house, and the police lied and said, oh, she died from, whatever. They just say she OD'd to cover up, because they know people are gonna have vengeance. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised. Like, if they did lie, I'm not surprised, because they know Kevin had a lot of followers. And if it was an incident where there was like premeditated like murder involved, yeah, it's gonna be wild. That's all I gotta say, man.
Yeah, I mean, anybody on the panel right now, everybody on the panel, can you agree that it looks really suspicious?
Yeah, it looks.
It's very suspicious.
Very much
it was
so.
a red herring.
Very
the number
much.
one cause of death for Black males is heart disease. I don't find this suspicious at all.
What?
I think maybe he was using Viagra or something.
Wait, no, hold on. Let's. Okay,
All right,
I'm gonna
Melody,
come
if you're
back.
gonna, if you're gonna keep them up, I'm dropping.
Hold on. I'm gonna. All right, GC, 1 second, because okay, he dropped. Let me get to Dr. Thunder, and then Mel. Go ahead, Dr. Thunder.
Hey, Melody, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right. So, yeah, R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. And if you were not a fan, if you were a fan, or not, we all have to admit that he was a tremendously influential figure, and almost single-handedly brought forth different conversations with respect to relationships in general, and with respect to the state of black love, as it were, in particular. He wasn't coming at it from this sort of Derek Jackson approach, which was to basically tell folks what they want to hear. He was sort of serving a sort of father kind of role to generations of black women that have not had a relationship with their father. So much of what it was that he would say is the kind of stuff that you would expect your dad to say to you when you're making bad decisions. Okay.
Exactly.
And I also want to address this issue of him just basically being, assertive towards black women. That's not true. He had plenty of smoke to go around. Of course, we all remember the clip from Fresh and Fit when the white woman gets up and leaves because he's getting in there.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't handle it. Then the second thing is, for about 5 years prior to his prominence, he was more or less laboring in obscurity because his content was focusing on the betterment of men. Where if you think the stuff that he was saying was harsh to women, I challenge you, and that stuff should still be live, to go back in his catalog and to find a lot of that older stuff. I mean, he's criticizing guys for not smelling good, for smelling like, crap.
Facts.
Like human feces. Like, he's criticizing them for not having their money together.
Yeah.
He's telling them that, you're broke, you don't deserve a woman.
Yeah.
Why are you even trying to talk to women? You should be working. And if they only had one job, he says, if you're broke and you only working 40 hours a week, he don't want to hear their complaints anymore.
Yeah.
They need to be 60, 80 hours a week. This is the kind of stuff that he was saying with regularity. But what he noticed was he found that there was a dearth of women that were sort of in the same sort of, I don't want to say status, that's not the right word, but women that would qualify for the kind of men that he was counseling.
Yeah.
Right. And so he wanted to have that sort of conversation. I interviewed Ramil Amir, and in our conversation, we discussed, the Lion's Den. And so the format that you saw with him talking to women actually was the same format that Ramil and Kevin were using to talk to people that wanted to start a small business that were calling in, many of which were men, and many of which they tore a new one. If you think that what Kevin, the way he was talking to the women on the Lion's Den, they were going all kind of in on these dudes that were calling in with business ideas. Oh, you don't even know what your business model is? You don't even have a website yet? You don't even, it was very harsh.
Yeah.
And but he took that format, and then he took it and he steered it towards women. And then, as the story goes, or as the saying goes, the rest is history. But he was a Christian guy. Kevin was. That's what he said. He also claimed that he had failings, that he was not perfect. I'm concerned with the way that things ended up with him, with the strange woman in his room, as it were. And this could be nefarious, but it could also just be that this is a guy that is probably beyond the age that you want to be entertaining a one-night stand.
Nah, it was nefarious.
Well, what I'm saying is, it could be nefarious, but it also could be just that, you know, whatever. I don't want to speculate because it's too soon to go in too deep on certain details.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's my general thought. I'm disappointed at a lot of the the divester groups and the sort of black feminists and stuff are dancing on his grave and all that kind of stuff. That's unfortunate. I also take some issue with the guy that was up before, the man of God thing. You see, the thing is that women are not just going to follow you because you're a man.
Facts.
Okay.
I did say that.
Well, no, you said it starts with, you said that the women will follow if the men are of quality, that the women will follow. That's not necessarily true.
They would naturally want to fall in line if they're doing what they're supposed to do as a man.
Actually don't see that to be true. Not today. I mean, I think it used to be that way, but I think that there are too many incentives, governmental incentives, for women to not have to do that. And so it's not just about, because what part of the incentive in the past was women needed a man to protect them, to provide for them, to do, to manipulate the land, as it were, because women don't have the physical strength in order to do certain things. And so there was everybody got something out of the scenario. A man got, open and free access to what he wanted with his woman, sex, legacy with kids, all that kind of stuff. The woman got protection, providence, and all that kind of thing. But now our society and the state provides all of those. You have running water. A woman can live in an apartment by herself. She doesn't need a man. Not for the things that she used to need a man.
I didn't want to go that far left with it, only because that's a whole nother can of worms for another time, another discussion. But I do agree with you. Yes, that is true.
Well, I just think that those factors are the factors that I would raise to counter at least a couple of the things that you said. I mean, I'm not trying to be strange or anything with you. I don't really know you or anything, but I just wanted to say that.
No, you're speaking facts. That's factual. That's
all right. Well, Melody, thanks for letting me come up and talk. I did actually myself. I did a stream this morning on some of my thoughts about Kevin.
Drop your link.
Check that out.
Drop your link so people can go check that out. But thank you for coming. I really appreciate you.
Gotcha.
Let's have Mel. Hey, Mel, you feel better?
Yeah, too damn strags out of here.
Yeah, I had to take them off because too many people wanted them gone. So no disrespect, ladies, but I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Be careful, Mel. Yeah, like especially today, you can't do that. Any chicks up
I can't do that. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Mel. So what's your take on this whole thing?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist like that, so it's like y'all feel what y'all feel, with this thing. I'm not getting into that. I want to talk about his work and the legacy he's leaving and everything.
Go ahead.
And then, definitely,
on that.
Definitely, like because we seeing a lot of motherfuckers online like crazy and shit, talking negative like crazy and shit like that. I just, what I'm saying? We already saw online, so I'm gonna take a break from Twitter today because they going crazy. The bitches going crazy, men and women going crazy online on Twitter like crazy.
Yeah,
it's like
bad out there, man.
Exactly. It's like. Honest a Young E show for real. If you see him talking all this shit, you probably get a gun and be like punishing their ass. I'm gonna be Frank Castle on they bitches at both men and women. Crazy. Urge.
Yeah, there's a lot of haters. Do you guys feel? Let's talk about the men. Do you guys feel that the men are hating? They were jealous of his success.
I never took it serious, but now it's serious now.
Yeah.
I thought it was a hoax. I thought motherfuckers was just playing about.
Nah, man. Like
serious now.
Steve the D man is talking shit about him right now.
I mean, you always gonna have the haters. So That just come with the territory.
Steve
But
is a joke.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Exactly.
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve is, go ahead.
It's
Hey, good morning, Melody. Can I get it real quick now?
Yeah,
go
sure.
ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Trey.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. Good afternoon, everybody, especially to
Oh,
Melody.
good
And
afternoon.
R.I.P. to Kevin. Y'all know over there, me and the fellas, me, David, Free Zone, cats like us, we didn't rock, with Kevin's message. The whole black love message. We kind of looked at it as, okay, it's a joke. But we support Kevin's work for one thing. He's calling out the behavior of the same women you had up on this panel. The ones that, were saying the stuff they were saying, we've been saying it for years over in our spectrum. That's how these women are. And I'm like this. I'm like, no, let them rock. Let them speak. Because brothers need to see how these women truly feel about y'all. The whole bullet bag narrative, the whole Kevin was this narrative, y'all uncle is gone, y'all godfather is gone. Let's dance on his grave, all these celebrations. David streamed for y'all. Go check out the Hood Conservative stream last night. 4 hours of these women on Twitter live going, just celebrating Kevin with their whole little gay dude allies, just up there going ham, dancing on Kevin's grave. And that's one thing, and me and David, we both battled Kevin in these streets before Kevin blew up. On these panels right there in the trenches with Kevin, arguing, going back and forth. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We big up. You feel your way, we feel our way. Okay, the best method wins.
Facts.
Hmm.
No disrespecting a man just because of who he is. It is what it is out here. We're gonna move different as men. But yeah, let those freaking strags rock. Hear their message, because I truly want the fellas to hear the way these women feel about y'all out here.
Right.
The only dudes they trying to hear is these gay dudes or these daggone simps that'll kiss their ass.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted them to talk. That's why I didn't want to take them down, because I wanted them to express how they felt, but the fellas wasn't feeling it, so I had to take them down,
Yeah,
I
So,
it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
I respect that, Melody, but yeah,
LD
it disgusts me, man. Like,
poison.
regardless, even you know, us. We're known over there for going hard on these criminals or whatever, especially
Mhm.
when they get clapped by the cops. But one thing you won't see us doing is over there dancing on a criminal grave, regardless. We just be like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's like, okay, my man found out the hard way, but we ain't gonna sit up there and celebrate and clap and cheer.
That's
And
Jezebels, witches, and warlocks.
yeah, man, it's demonic, man. And it's sad to see that, what used to be the community has turned into this witchcraft stuff, like you said, brother. All these worshiping spirits and all this.
That's what it is. It's the Jezebel spirit is in these women. Uh, not all women, but the ones that they get the problems. The Jezebel
Hmm.
spirit is in them, and whenever an authoritative figure, is talking to them, they get defensive and all of this, and then they start yelling because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, and it's kind of the same thing with the panelists. They started out okay, but then you found out their true intentions after about 3 minutes.
Right.
There's venom behind what they were saying, and none of the men here we're not agreeing 100% with what Mr. Samuels said or did 100% of the time. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is what he is doing or what he did is barbershop talk. This is
Yeah.
stuff we've been hearing our whole lives. I'm 30 years old. I've been hearing this stuff since I was a little boy. You know what I mean? This is nothing new that he's saying. That's not new to me. I've been hearing it. I'm sure some of the other fellas, same thing. They've been hearing this stuff. But our society, it's a feminist society today. And behind that feminist society, Black Lives Matter and all of these other groups, that stuff is evil. It's wickedness behind it because it's trying to take the male out of the equation of the structure that God created. And as a result, just like the doctor when he was on the line, just like he said, you got all of these programs to where women don't need the men now. And I didn't want to go that route because that's a whole nother can of worms. But, you know, while we're on the subject, might as well talk about it. So that's pretty much why I feel like Mr. Samuels went out the way he did, is because he was a red herring. He was stirring up the pot a little bit too much. And people got to understand, ain't nothing in this world a coincidence. Everything is orchestrated. Devils, they're watching our every move at all times.
Right.
So, yeah, so they were
what is-
saying that a woman was found in his room or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
apparently,
Acting like men want women to take care.
right. So apparently, he just met a woman on Wednesday. This is what TMZ said. I'm not saying it's true. I'm gonna keep
Mhm.
saying that.
Okay.
Trust me, it's not true. I don't know. But from what TMZ is saying, that he met a woman Wednesday. She stayed the night, and in the morning she called like, oh, he fell on top of me. So
Oh.
pretty much she said that Kevin Samuels just fell on top of her. And I guess they put it in as injured or something, like he was injured.
I
Ain't that
bullshit.
read the police
Some-
report on the
Some
channel.
bullshit.
He had chest pains, and so that's what led to his
But
collapse.
that's what she said. But
No, that's
Yeah.
what the police say. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
police
and you
said
know,
that they took her report.
yeah, it's all speculation at this point, until the
Right.
autopsy come out and the details come out.
Yeah.
So, but here's one thing that I want to share is as far as you're looking at Twitter, the Twitterverse, the divestors and the freaking, the majority of B-dubs going in on them right now versus looking at, the guys you'll refer to as coons, the Donovan Sharps, the quote unquote white manosphere. Man, these guys are all big up in Kevin right now. They're all,
Yeah.
they already came up with a plan to dedicate the first week in May as Kevin Samuels week. This is what the fellas are doing. You know what I'm saying? Whereas what the women that he spent his, work on and they turning on him, kind of, just like Jesus or whatever. I mean, not calling him a prophet, I ain't trying to get religious, but the same way, we hear these stories of men who uplifted and then his death, his people turn on him.
Yeah.
I never
You
had
know
beef
what?
with Donovan Sharp. Matter of fact, that's how I discovered Kevin Samuels through him in early interviews, like four or 5 years ago. I never had beef with Donovan Sharp like that. Yeah, like yeah. So it's like he does it in his own way, tell certain truths about us men also too, and our community, our women also too, that we say the same thing.
Yeah, I never took Kevin Samuels' message at like, some dudes will look at it like, oh, somebody said it earlier, like it's some pickup artist trying to get pussy type of thing. I always thought it was deep. I always thought it was deeper. Like he was talking about more intricate dynamics with like, black men and women. I didn't think it was just simply get pussy. You know what I'm saying? But one thing though, with the tricking, if he was tricking, this is why tricking is dangerous, yo. It always has been. But some dudes, they don't want to see it that way. But as a trick, you need to know how to read people, and you need to have some game too. You can't just think, oh, I'm gonna just buy it and I don't have to watch my own back, because stuff like this can happen. And it's not just dangerous for dudes that buy pussy. Now, I'm not saying this is exactly Kevin Samuel's situation, but if it was, even for girls that actually are sex workers, that shit is dangerous. We've seen what happened with Lauren Smith. You feel me? That world, there's no telling what could happen. So I know dudes is like, I like the whole thing, that whole sphere that like we in the square world. In that world, you really gotta be on your P's and Q's. It don't even matter if you got money. It don't matter if you high value. You think, oh, I'm gonna spend more money on a more classier woman, I guess. It don't matter. Like that shit is dangerous. If that happened.
Well, I would say in everything in life, there's a right and a wrong way to do things also too. Like I mean, I my earlier days, my youth, I spent some of the time tricking my damn self, paying for play and everything, and I did the right thing because there's reviews you could do on these chicks to know they legit. So
yeah, but guys, real quick, let me say this. I'm sorry, we can't.
even alluded that also.
Let me just say this, man. Oh, finish. Go ahead, babe. You can finish.
The comment. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, let's not assume he was tricking. I can't say that. We don't know that.
I don't know. It's
But like we said, everything is right.
Yeah.
We just have our own opinions.
And,
But I
it's freedom of speech out here, freedom of choice for men. If men want to trick, do it. It is what it is. I mean, regardless.
Doing it. I mean, just like Young was saying, there's a right and wrong way to do it. Like, yeah, so you got to be
safely.
it's exactly because there's I hear these stories of chicks robbing dudes also too and everything, yeah. But also
Cardi B.
these stories about dudes overdoing it and thinking they could get low value, high value service for low value price. But like, yo, you gonna go like, come on, don't work that way. Like,
And if you're a high value
But real quick,
target,
oh, I'm
if you
sorry. Let
if
me
you're a
let me
high
just
value, okay, I'm sorry. Go
can I
ahead.
yeah, let me just read this, and I'm gonna let someone up and put up my banner just in case it's a troll. But let me read this. Thank you, fasting. He says, "What if Kevin Samuels pulled a Sansaray?"
Nah,
I don't think he would do that.
Nah, if
this is
Fulton County's already, confirmed it.
yeah.
Right. This is not a trick at all. But thank you for that. And I think I had one more. And guys, I'm not doing this for money. I really wanted to have a conversation. So I appreciate the super chats, but you don't have to send them. If you, I mean, you don't have to send super chats. Let's just have the conversation because this is a serious matter. So you can hold off on the super chats. But Sister George, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that $15. Okay, guys, let me just let this guy on the panel and he can go and then you guys can continue. So hold on.
Funny how it's raining today and stuff in this sad day.
So Ricky, are you there, Ricky?
Yes, I am. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm well. How are you?
Great.
Oh, so you're not a troll, okay? Let me take
No,
the
ma'am.
banner
I
down.
actually do a show here. I'm a patriot, so
I like
I do
Okay.
political commentary.
All right, hold on. Let me take it down.
No, leave that banner up though. Like, come on, let's do a little
I,
simping, Melody. A little simping early in the afternoon. Leave that pretty banner up.
oh, I appreciate that. You're so
I like
sweet.
the
Thank
banner
you for
too. It's nice.
that.
Uh,
But let me go with you. Go ahead and say what's on your mind.
I want to say, because I do a lot of political commentary, I'm kind of center right, just to let you know where I stand. But the thing that really is bothersome right now is that even though I'm a conservative, I go after Black conservative pundits that dance on the graves of Black people.
Yeah.
The behavior that we're seeing right now coming from the ratchet sphere is no better than Candace Owens or the Officer Tatum, in my opinion.
Yeah, Tatum is annoying as hell. My bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's my boy, y'all. That's my boy.
Nah. Tatum is buggy.
That's my boy. Candace is the queen, y'all.
Nah.
Whatever, dude. What we're seeing right now coming from the ratchet sphere is no better than what we're seeing come out of this whole situation with Kevin Samuels dancing on a Black man's grave. That's bullshit. That's BS. I'm sorry. I just got to call it out for what it is. And when looking at this, that goes to show you that we have become a reflection of the very structure that has us in a position that we're in today. Nobody wants to talk about that. We as a community has become a reflection of the very structure that has us where we are today. We cannot even correct ourselves with constructive criticism. This is scary.
What do you mean we became a reflection of what, white society?
No,
We became a reflection of the racism. White people don't need to practice it anymore. We do a good job of eliminating our own.
Oh, okay.
Well, brother. I mean, we're a reflection of the same women. Well, not we. I don't include my group with those people. Those folks, the community, the cult, they're a reflection of the same women that are going in on KS right now. And you'll be hard pressed to find any video of Tatum, who was boys with KS. Tatum used to be on the panels as well with KS back in the day, or Candace dancing on the grave of any man. You know what? They might call out the behavior, us conservatives who will lean a little bit far right and are also melanated, but we will never dance on the graves of anyone. But we will call out the bad behavior, just like I stated earlier. I'm not basically an op of KS, but at the end of the day, me and KS could big up on a panel because our views are completely divergent. Because I'm like, man, screw all this Black love stuff. It's a wrap. It's done. But guess what? Over on our side, we consider far right conservative. No, we'll never dance on the grave of anybody. And I'd be hard pressed to see any video of Candace or Tatum dancing on anybody's grave.
Maybe not Candace. Candace is cool, but Tatum, I don't know about. Tatum's fucked up. I don't fuck with Tatum. Nah, Candace is all right. Candace. I just feel like Candace. She just been around. She been around white people too long. But Tatum. He a coon. He a blatant fucking coon.
Man, I would call Tatum as a simp, not a purple pill simp. He's married, he's got his thing. But here's the deal, bro. We out here, and the reason people don't call me a coon, bro, is because I'm one of the niggas that'll like straight run up on you. But I'm also, think like Tatum. Is that y'all will call him that, but Tatum is one of these dudes you don't mess with, man. Tatum from the hood, man. Tatum is straight. Tatum real with it. No, but I'm saying though. But here's the deal.
Anytime you got to travel with security, you're a punk.
But here's the deal. But here's the deal. Now look what happened to KS. Tatum has got the same amount of followers. He's got the same amount of reach. At that point, yes, you become a target. I wish KS would have had security. I wish KS would have people screening all these women. When you're at that level, you need it. You gotta have it.
You gotta move differently. Yeah, it's just like celebrities. Like Jay-Z and everything. Yeah, he doesn't walk around in the areas by himself no more because he's not the Jay-Z anymore. He's Jay-Z, a multi-billionaire businessman. And
I want to.
The old saying is, the more money you make, the more problems you're going to have.
More problems.
More enemies out there that plot stuff against you. That's one of the reasons. I hate to say this. What happened with Nipsey Hussle and stuff like that? He made the millions. Make it big. I understand he wanted to help his Project Hood and everything, but you can't walk the same way in your Project Hood anymore because you're not Nipsey Hussle the hood and stuff.
Well, I want to say this before I roll, is that do you guys not find it awkward that this manosphere content was getting ready to go mainstream through advice of Kevin Samuels, and now all of a sudden his death comes upon us, and this was getting ready to go.
I find it very odd.
Yeah,
actually,
it's still going mainstream.
Oh, one second, Ricky. I didn't even realize that was you, bro. I'm going heads up with you. What's going on, Ricky? Man, I didn't realize that was you.
I'm just loving life and living the dream, man. I was reading a chat and somebody said that I don't have thousands of death threats on me. I get death threats in my email every day. On top of that, I'm not online posing to be a badass and then go out in public with security. Like Tatum does.
Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum comes and poses like a badass, but then comes to these different events. I saw him at Blackson and I saw him at CPAC, and he had security with him. I'm not going to get online and run my mouth about
he's
something.
anti-black. He's anti-black, period, dude.
Well, how is that? How can you create an organization called Blexit and be anti-black?
That was Candace. Number
no,
one.
he was a business partner, bro.
I got to get back to work. My client just pulled up, but you guys have a good one. I'll be listening to this.
Hey, make that money, brother. Salute, man. We got to go at it soon.
No, the Blexit,
Thank you so much.
The Blexit was spearheaded by Candace. She was the face of it. She was the main person that pulled in the crowd and the money. Tatum jumped on after Candace. I think Tatum blew up after Candace. So I don't.
Tatum was in there from the jump, bro. Tatum was her business partner. He was just floating around in the back. That's what he was doing. But here's the deal with Tatum's message. Like I said, man, Tatum was in the manosphere streets, man. He was on O'Shea's Rumble. He'd be one of the dudes. He was rocking with ABL. We was all in there. But just like KS blew up off the average at best chick, Tatum's message, rocking with 45, rocking the MAGA movement caught on, and he blew up like that. And guess what? He's going to get certain threats from those who see him as a coon because, black folks, for some reason, don't like 45s. So, yeah, he's going to be seen. He's going to, face targets from that. But KS's ops, that was the same women that are calling them out all over online now. And they're simp enforcers who are much more dangerous in my belief.
Oh, yeah. The simps are turned up.
Well, I was going to say, I'm a writer, and I happen to have written, I think it was a couple of years back, a piece on Kevin Samuels. And I don't know whether Samuels has officially been confirmed dead. I know I see a lot of stuff online. I see a lot of stuff here on YouTube, but I haven't seen official confirmation. So I'm not going to get into his reported death.
It's
I will
official.
talk about
I'm sorry to cut you off, my love, but it's official because his mom spoke on it. Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, from my background, I don't want to mention something until it's absolutely official. But I
There's a
will speak about the man. I will speak about the man. I will speak about the man and my assessment of the man. And to be brutally honest, when it comes to Kevin Samuels, I think I noted this in my piece. Kevin Samuels struck me as someone who was a loser marketing himself as a winner. And I was on a panel, someone else's panel, I don't know, this was maybe a couple months ago or so. And there was all this talk about, you know, somebody was saying that Samuels himself at one point was like badgering people. He would be outside of department stores or certain high-end stores trying to badger people to hire him as some kind of consultant or I don't know, something like that, to hire him to help them shop or something like that. And
he didn't deserve to die though. Like, I think you like.
Well, again, I don't want to get into his death. I don't want to get into his death. I'd rather speak about the man's life because I don't want to get into the circumstances of that because they seem rather murky to me if this is indeed the case. But my impressions, like I said, my impression of Kevin Samuels was he was a loser who marketed himself as a winner. And his entire apparatus, his entire framework is largely the triumph of marketing. It's all hat and no cattle, as they say in Texas. It's all image, right? He called himself, he technically was a corporate image consultant.
But why say
I went on his website, so I know what his website states. But what is he known on YouTube for? What was he known for? Talking to women. No, self-destruction. Not improvement.
No.
It's capitalism, bro. That's capitalism, bro. That's capitalism, bro.
That's not capitalism.
Let me ask you, how you feel it was destruction?
Because he. Well, first, first of all, his whole model is, what did he become famous for? What did he become well known for?
The average at best.
Trying to destroy, trying to break down and destroy the personalities and the aspects of women.
No,
he does what a lot of psychologically. Has anyone here been in the military?
Yeah, 21 years, bro. 21 years right here, bro. Paratrooper,
right.
bro.
Okay. Come on. Right. So you've been to boot camp, right? You had to go to basic. Okay. Yeah. So basically, even though I've never been in the military, I did study military history. And basically what happens in boot camp when you go to basic, what happens when you get in the military is what they do is they destroy a great portion of what you are as an individual. They tear you down. And what they do is they rebuild you in their image so that you can function within that institution, within that framework. And the reason why they do that, it's unfortunate, but it's just reality. The reason why they do that is because they want to be able to have control over your behavior. See, if they allow you to behave the way you were as a civilian and do whatever you want, you won't be able to function in a war zone. You won't be able to function in combat. So they have to basically try to tear you down, and they have to strip you of aspects of who you are. Not every part of you, but aspects of who you are. Essentially, that's what Kevin Samuels.
Okay, bro. Is it? And here's the deal, bro. Is it a net positive? You know, coming from somebody, you know, like I said, bro, 21 years, man, paratrooper, jumping out of planes, kicking indoors, all that good stuff, man. Is, you know, there's certain things that, you know, this country allows a man like Kevin Samuels to do, because trust me, in China, ain't gonna be no Kevin Samuels over there. It wouldn't be allowed. So in order for the Army, Uncle Sam, to train somebody to go out and protect your right, bro, to write books, to write, you know, hit pieces on Kevin Samuels, You got to be in the mindset of, I'm not going to be about me. I'm going to be about my country. I'm going to go about there and protect the Constitution. I'm going to protect Melody's right to have this panel right now. That's why you must be broken down, that individualistic thinking in terms of, you know, a little bit of self-preservation versus country preservation versus preservation of the Constitution versus protecting the rights of other Americans. That's the selfishness. It makes you be selfish as an American, not as,
Well,
you
that's
know,
a
black,
larger,
white,
that's a
anything
larger
like that.
issue.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
getting into that per se. What I'm comparing it, what I'm saying is the basic framework of boot camp is what I'm looking at. Not all those implications. The basic framework of boot camp is what Kevin Samuels essentially tried to do.
Okay, so I'll take it.
What happened with women. So,
yeah, so take it a step further, brother.
What he tries to do is he goes after women because he had concepts and he had a framework which doesn't really work in the 21st century. Just like any other form of technology, things change, aspects of society change. And someone like Kevin Samuels had the problem. One of the problems with him is he had analog thinking in a digital era.
Okay.
In other words, you're trying to get women.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Right. Okay, because you're saying a lot of negative bullshit right now. Period about the man. You don't even know what the fuck he's.
I'm saying a lot of critical things that are accurate, but
it's still bullshit and negative. I'm pointing it out. I call a spade, and that's what it sounds like. Because you don't know what the
some of it's negative. Yeah. It's some of it's negative.
I'm going to talk and everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So let me tell you something. You keep talking about the time change and all that shit, right? You married?
Well, I'm saying that we're living in a different era.
Are you married though? Married? You're not?
Sorry?
Are you married?
Am I married? No, I'm not married.
You dating someone? You dating any female?
Neither was he. Neither was he at the time.
Actually, he was dating. He was dating.
No, he wasn't married. He's been divorced. He's been divorced twice.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, to other people, it mattered.
I don't give a shit about what other people.
It doesn't matter to me. Does it matter to me? No, but it's a statement of fact.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me. All right. Let me respond. Let me respond to you, AL.
The reality is all that shit. Hold on, let me finish. The reality is, let me take your logic right there with that boot camp logic. Okay, let's say for example, being that you said the modern time changed now, was most likely probably targeting the modern woman, how they acting. For many years, females feeling self-entitled to a certain type of dude, and they come into your face telling you don't fit that mold, blah, 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 blah. Especially those who probably might be not attracted to your standards, fat, moo cows, and still thinking they could get 6-figure dudes. And those dudes ain't dealing with females in that type of lane, period at all. So unfortunately, a chick like that has to technically, in a way, be broken down to be brought into reality. She's fat, overweight. You want with these type of guys, and she's narcissistic. Time to break her. Maybe in another way, she go to therapy. That's technically in a way just like the army. They're breaking people down so they can rebuild them. That therapist will tell her the truth. You're kind of overweight. You might have to lose certain pounds. You're narcissistic. You need to change that. You need to be a little bit ladylike. That's all to get the type of guys you want. And technically, if you got a large percentage of guys that says you're not a 10, then you might as well go for the guys that said, you know what, I'll take you as a 6. Get them out their way. So how's that a bad thing what Kevin was doing? And technically doing that also too. It was all right.
Well, first of all,
let me say this. Can I say this real quick before you continue? I just want to say something really quick before you continue. Do you have anything positive? The man is dead. Let's show some respect. Do you have anything positive to say about him?
Positive to say?
Positive. Yeah.
About Kevin Samuels?
Yes.
Well, my function is not to the way that I'm looking at it is not simply to say whether to simply say positive things about, but to assess what he did and to assess the way he did it. That's my interest. I'm not really interested in looking at him as a person. I'm sure he had I'm sure he had his pros, or he had aspects of his personality that appealed personally to people he knew. I don't know. I'm going by what the public person is and the public persona is.
All right, cool.
And that's what you have to deal with.
You said enough.
I'm sure as an individual, he might have been appealing to certain people, individuals.
Hold on. Let me respond to you, brother. Hey, Mel. Let me respond to him. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yes, we
Bro,
can.
marriage, just like the military, is an institution, and you have a large group of brothers that Kevin Samuels preached to, who looked at him as that godfather, as that uncle, that want the American values, traditional version of marriage. And what Kevin came across was a large swath of women that these men preferred, that didn't want to belong to that institution. So Kevin took it upon himself to try to break down said women, just like the military does in boot camp, and turn them into marriageable women. Now, call it what you may, the stress of it may have got to him, but Kevin went down fighting for brothers. You know what I'm saying? And I give him props for that. He went down trying to turn women that aren't marriageable, just like Mel described, into, like I said, good wives. And RIP to him for that. Salute.
Well, let's look at that premise. What you mentioned is, in your view, that he was trying to turn women into marriageable wives. First of all, that's an invalid premise right there.
No, it's not, because I got
plenty that doesn't work.
That thanked them for taking his advice. Even some that called us and didn't like it, they called them back and thanked them. Some of them are married now. He has a show. He has a show right now. Episode on the show right now.
This is one of the problems.
Thanking him for the marriages they got.
With someone like
27 to 58 years old. Thanking Kevin Samuels. I got the husband that I want because of you. I had to change what I had to do with myself to get the man that's going to treat me right. Thanking him. I will find that episode and send it right now to you.
What it sounds like to me
this man didn't fit with his mission because he's just
the problem is.
Hold on, let Mel finish and then you can go.
I'm finished. Go ahead, young.
The point is, he did not deserve to die. I don't know. I guess, okay, you had contentions with how his message was delivered. Like, I get that.
Actually, it's not a matter of.
He was a bit harsh, so he could have finessed it a little bit better. I agree with you with that. He could have delivered the message in a way that a lot of.
I never said anything about that.
Well,
no, I never said anything about delivery of his message. I never said anything about that, and that's not my point.
Al, so what are you saying? Can you explain? Maybe
first of all,
what are you saying?
Okay, the point that was made earlier was this. The argument was of it. When you look at the language here, this is part of the problematic language, not so much of Kevin Samuels, but in these inherent belief systems. This is why I said that it's analog thinking in a digital era. What this thinking is so-called traditional. So you have to ask who's tradition. I don't know who's tradition. But what it really is historical. And again, things change. Things are never the same.
You're not making no point.
Well, I am making a point. But what I'm saying is,
listen, I'm going to okay, thank you, but it's a lot of people on the panel, so let me just move to the next person. I think who came next? Keeping. I can't say the whole name, but Keeping.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Keeping Tulsa. Thank you for having me on the panel.
Thank you for coming.
I will say this. Kevin Samuels, piece, and he may not have been everybody's cup of tea, but what I don't encourage is for us to celebrate somebody's death. That's never okay.
Right.
Our differences is our difference. Let's just be the change. Let's be the difference. If he, I just say this to the ladies: get some therapy. And for those that have a fetish, be honest and say, hey, I have a fetish for being humiliated. That's male and female.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
That's all I had.
Well, thank you for that. That was perfect. Thanks. Like the message. So, huh? You're I think you're Borgin a little bit. I don't know if it's me. Is
No,
that me,
he's
guys?
Borging. He's Borging.
Okay, why don't you go out and come back up? Leave out, come back up. In the meantime, we're gonna have Ruby. Hi, Ruby.
Oh, Melody, I was gonna sit in the chat. Girl, why you have to summon me? I was good sitting in the chat.
I
I was
needed you
happy
to,
down there.
I wanted you up here with me. I always want you next to me,
I know, but then I have to come up here and be honest. So I'm gonna be honest. And to an extent, I guess I kind of mirror what the last lady said, which is I don't really care who it is, what they said, what they did, how much you disagree with them, how much you don't like them personally, whatever. Short of them having done something horrific to you and your children. When I mean horrific, I don't mean they said something mean that hurt your feelings. I mean like they, attacked or did, something violent, predatory, whatever. There's no excuse on planet Earth for you to look at anybody, let alone another Black person, and celebrate their death and be looking for jokes to make around their death. And I'm seeing this on both sides, whether it's the women who hate him, the men who hate him, or the people who love and support him, because then they're using those women who hate him or making fun of him or whatever, and then they're making jokes about those women. And they're either way, I'm just seeing his death being used as cannon fodder for jokes and for tasteless commentary on both sides. And I'm like, are y'all out of your minds? And what's the worst part about this is to read today, right, that the mother found out that her own son died from social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So around the time that I was getting out of the hospital yesterday and I found out that he died, and again, unconfirmed, just a bunch of rumors, all kinds of jokes and nasty media, again, on both sides, whether it's supporters or haters, right? That's when that woman, that's what she was reading while trying desperately to call her kid, having no information whatsoever before the police even had a chance to notify her. Never mind, we don't even know about the child. Like it's not like, he's a father, right, as well. And no one cared about that. Everyone cared about the clout. Everyone cared about I got to be the first to comment on it. I got to get the most likes. I got to get the most views. And I think that that's just kind of what disgusts me about the situation, is that the man's death, it doesn't even matter. The fact that a man passed away, some of us have known him in this space alone for 8 years, whether we loved him or hated him. People have known him for longer. His frat brothers have known him for decades, right? And no one cares about the person, right? It's all about cannon fodder for advancing a narrative or for stomping down a narrative or for using this as evidence of, oh, see, bad people die. Like, I mean, just the terrible things people are saying. Like, really? Like, this is where we've come down to, is that we're excited when another Black person dies so we can use it for clicks and for, likes and for clout. It's crazy to me. It's just crazy.
Exactly, Ruby.
Well, that seems to be a symptom of the online world and YouTube. And what I noticed about, which is one of the reasons I am not speaking about his passing.
It wasn't your turn.
It wasn't confirmed.
It wasn't your turn, Al. I think Golden Child is next.
I think you were next, GC.
Oh, no, I don't have anything to say, so Golden Child is next.
Okay, go ahead, Golden Child. You're still Borgin.
Yeah, you're Borgin.
I'll come back. When I get a better location. I'm traveling. That's why.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, pull over and and then try to talk. Because I understand you said you're traveling, so maybe if you pull over, you'll get better reception.
Yeah.
Okay, so who was next? Oh, go ahead, Al. While he's doing that, you can speak.
Oh, okay. Well, what I was saying was that's why I refused to comment on his supposed passing, because there was no official confirmation. And as per my former profession, well, I'm saying prior to this. So I still don't want to speak about his passing until there is absolute crystal clear official confirmation. But getting to what I did want to note was this. That's why I'm speaking about him as a person, as an individual, prior to this. the problem, I think, with someone like a Kevin Samuels is this, and this may speak to some of what Ruby was stating. It may be partly that the reason why so many people were kind of, if indeed they were rejoicing, but rejoicing if indeed he has passed and if indeed he is dead, they were rejoicing in it was the kind of person he was online. And, you know, your personality, your public profile, what you are and what you do is what people, not only what people see, but it engenders reaction. So if something happens to you, you know, people will either, you know, feel sorry for your passing, or they will rejoice in your passing. And Samuels himself was a very controversial personality and went out of his way to be controversial. And that's the problem with going out of your way to be controversial. When you
How do you know
seek
that? How do you know
that he was
going out of his
controversial,
way? No, that he was going
well,
out of his way to be like he was doing it on purpose.
right. I mean, he went on YouTube. Just look at his manner and the way that he talked to women.
Yeah, he
Right. So
talked to
his
men like
opinion
that
and his
too, though.
attitude, right? His opinion and his attitude were controversial to you. You said you want to talk about the man and not his, like, you know, whatever. Okay, do you know him?
Well, they
Have
weren't
you ever even
controversial to
spoken to him,
me. They were
sir? No, I asked
controversial
you a
to a
question.
variety of people.
I'm
Yeah,
asking
go
you a
ahead.
question. Did you know him personally? Did you ever even have a conversation with him?
Well, I'm not talking about him personally.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you did
exactly
bring
what
up
you said.
personal.
Right. You
Okay.
literally said, I'm
No, I'm
talking about
talking
the
about his
man.
public persona.
Okay.
I
Okay.
said he
It's
went out of
okay,
his way
yo.
to be controversial.
But
Yeah.
my point is simply this, right? Is that you're not speaking about the man, right? You're speaking about his rhetoric. You're speaking about his message,
Yeah, I'm
and in
speaking about him
essence, how
as a
you feel
public
about his message.
personality. I'm
Right.
Yeah,
talking
You're
and
about
not
his
that's
speaking
public
okay.
about the
personality.
man.
That's all you can discuss. I don't know about
Right.
him personally. And
I
that's
think
not
you
what
should just
I
listen
don't
to
want
what
to
you actually
discuss
said.
that.
I just want to clarify that because that's what you said. So I just wanted to clarify that you were actually
Right.
speaking
What he
about his
was like
public
personally,
persona
I don't know.
and his rhetoric. And here's the thing:
It's your wording. It's
everybody,
your wording.
there's nobody on the internet who gets any kind of following whatsoever that is not seen as controversial. To the people who agree with that person, they're not controversial. They're saying the most common sense thing in the world. But the thing is, if everyone agrees with you, nobody's going to follow you. That's the way it is. Everyone who has 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, 50% of the people that watch them hate watch them. That's what it is, right? So
Depends on what you do. It depends on what you do.
And that's
almost
why we
no.
should. Yeah,
Not
that's why
really.
we should let Al rock. Let Al, you know, Al isn't, you know, saying anything bad. Let's hear what Al has to say.
He
He's
said,
he's entitled to his opinion, and it's cool. I mean, like he's not degrading Kevin Samuels, the man. He's degrading his message. His, you know, he said,
kind of degrade.
yeah,
Well,
but you know, that's his
all,
opinion.
yeah, he's
That's
right.
his. Hold on, real quick.
But here's
That's
my
his.
thing.
Also,
That,
too, calling him
yeah,
a
that's his.
trying to be a
But here's the deal, y'all. That's his message that he's entitled to. And trust me, everybody that came at Kevin like that, Kevin did not back down. Kevin, okay, you want to talk about me like this? And he went at him. Okay, prove it. Call it out. Show me your facts that can go against this. And that's why I say, when anything that Al says, you know, counter it. Because, you know, I mean, I'm like, okay, bro, your rhetoric is that Kevin, you know, is doing a disservice basically to black women. No. He was out here calling out the horrific behavior in the community right now. It's got a lot of brothers looking at the community sideways and wanting nothing to do with it. Now, Al, you tell me, who's wrong? The women you're up here caping for, or Kevin trying to convince these women to be better in life?
Well, first and foremost, why would he need to convince anyone?
Because
What
it's
made
his, just like
him-
it's your right. It's his
I
right,
mean,
bro.
In the end, the problem is that, again, one of the problems with Samuels, if we're going to discuss the individual and his public personality and his
let's do it.
YouTube
Let's
and
get into
online
it, bro.
personality, the first problem is this. Right, first, from my assessment of him and my analysis of him, he was, first of all, he was a person who should never have been taken seriously on that subject or any other subject.
Why?
Why? Hold on. Why?
Right?
Break it down.
Why?
To begin with, Samuels was reportedly, and I had gone to his website, so because I had done my research on him, or a certain amount of research on him. The reality was that Kevin Samuels was technically a corporate image consultant.
Okay.
He was not a relationship expert. He was not a dating coach. So when you look at YouTube, when you see YouTube, normally people who are so-called professionals or in a business tout their business and tout their profession. Doctors talk about medicine, lawyers, law, engineers, mechanical or electrical engineering.
Oh, okay. Let me stop you right there, bro. So if we look at that, let's look at Doc. Hold on. Al, real quick. Al, real quick. Al, real quick. Al, here's the deal. Al, let's give us a chance to respond to what you say. Now, Dr. Oz, bro. Dr. Oz on TV every single day is a heart surgeon, bro. Dr. Oz ain't famous for being a heart surgeon. Dr. Oz is famous for being on TV. He found his niche in being on TV, talking about every single subject imaginable versus being in a hospital operating on people's hearts. So you're telling me that we should be up here talking shit and calling out Dr. Oz because he chose to go with the money?
Yeah, and on top of that, Kevin
actually that has nothing to do with what I stated.
No, bro, it is, bro. It's a daggone equivalency, bro. No, bro, and your emotions, Al. Bro, it is, bro. Here's the deal, man. You just a brother hating on Kevin because he found his niche and he got paid, and you want to call him out for it. Here's the deal, and that's okay, bro. Do it. But if you doing it, stand on it, bro. Stand on it, bro. If that's what you're gonna do, stand on it. Don't try to dip out of it now because the brother is doing it. I told you, it's the same with Dr. Oz. It's the same with any other brother that finds a different niche than what they're trained for. And dudes like you want to come up here with that daggone bootleg attitude. Well, he's did it and all that stuff. Nah, man. Call it out and then stand on it. If you didn't like the nigga, stand on it and just say, hey, I didn't like the nigga.
Well, I already did.
Then stand on it, bro.
Well,
let me ask you, Al. You ever heard of Derrick Jackson? You ever heard of Derrick Jackson? Huh?
No, I've never heard of that. Never heard of Gary Jackson.
The point is, though, this is the point. If Kevin was an image consultant and he was helping Black women with their image as far as losing weight and how to conduct themselves. So he was right in his field. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Actually, he wasn't. He didn't. The point that I made was this.
Let me explain that.
Actually, he wasn't.
Hold it, Al. Let me explain that.
Actually, he wasn't.
Let's say I'm an image consultant, right? Young East is a successful businessman, but he wants to take his business to certain levels that he can't really get to because of certain facts that he doesn't know. But I know it because me as an image consultant, I study it, and I know how he could get there. Let's say he wants to run for president. One of the factors that I have to tell Young East, you're a successful man, but if you want to run the president, you have to get married. That's one of the factors that's going to get you to that level. And I will school him on how to do that. Get married. To have that image, so the image of him being married and successful that he wants to apply to run for this country, he would take it to that level. That's what an image consultant does. He analyzed the whole thing, a big picture.
Well, no one's talking about what an image consultant does. My point that I made was going to make anyway, was that was supposedly his field of expertise or his background.
Supposedly.
I mean, I could go into other aspects of Kevin Samuel. The fact that he tried to make like he was a college graduate, he wasn't. In other aspects.
So what, bro? Here's the point that does that got to do with anything, bro? What does that have to do with what he does, his message?
Again, it goes to character and it goes to personality. But here's the point that I'm making.
Character. No. Here's the deal, bro. It goes against It goes against your mama, bro. He's speaking against your mama, bro. That's what he's doing. Your mama told you that Kevin Samuels is bad. Your auntie and them told you he can't speak on the queens like this. So now you got to come behind and speak ill on this man after he's dead for that fact. Cool, say it all day long. But guess what, bro? Guess what? You got to deal with the pushback, bro. You're gonna have to deal with the pushback. That's why I said let you rock, bro. Let you rock. You sound like your mama right now.
What I'm stating are absolute facts. The man was a reported image consultant, but his fame and his success did not come from his image consulting business.
Yes,
it came from the fact that he went on YouTube and critiqued.
Yes, it did, sir.
Even if it didn't, what does it matter? He got paid, and now you hating, bro, because you ain't paid, and your mama mad. That's what it is, bro.
I don't really care whether he got. I don't really care whether he got paid or not.
Then why are you speaking on it then?
Well, I could say what I want.
You can't congratulate the man. No, I don't agree with you. I'm just saying you can't congratulate.
So defend it. We're gonna challenge it.
The reality is the point goes to
your clown ass reality ain't the actual reality.
Real quick, Ash, I need
Well,
you to say
that
something.
is the reality. The
Oh, wait,
reality
guys,
is he
hold on.
Your
considers
clown ass
himself
reality.
Wait, guys, let me.
He
Is
stated
someone,
his image consultant.
listen,
Go
there's
ahead.
someone on the panel. I want to make sure she's good. Ash.
Hi.
Oh, okay. You guys can continue, and then she can go. Go ahead,
Right.
guys.
So I just pointed out a fact about him, that the man was technically
No, you point out opinion.
But what he was noting was, that's a fact. You could go to his website and you could check it out.
This is not the
But
proper
he
way
was
to
not
honor-
known on
this
YouTube
is
as
not
an
the
image
proper way
consultant.
to honor a
Nobody
person's
saw
memory.
that. He was known in regards to talking to
Basically,
women about relationships.
instead of for honoring the memory, you're allowing people on to get off their critiques of his work. You're giving a microphone to weirdos and losers who have negative things to say about Kevin in the wake of his death. This is highly disrespectful. Every word that you allow this man to continue to say looks ill favorably on you. And you keep letting him go. Get this clown off. Get this stupid ass loser off.
Wait a minute.
Let's roast this nigga, man. Let's roast this nigga, GC. Let's call this nigga out, man. He want to speak in front of the fellas. He want to speak in front of the fellas. Let's roast this cat.
And I'm offering, I'm looking at an assessment. Now, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. But facts are facts. And if you don't, it seems to me you can't handle the facts. The people who disagree with him, who love him, they can't handle the facts.
Okay, you ready?
Ain't got no fat clown.
Hey, no, that's a white boy. That's not a black man. That's a white boy.
Okay, so
First of
all right, so listen, I
I don't
removed
care
him.
if he white or black, man. Word, he's a clown.
Guys, hold on. I'm speaking. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool.
We can hear you. Go.
All right, I want to hear Ash, and after Ash, we're gonna have the golden child. Okay, go ahead, Ash.
I'm afraid to say what I want to say because it's like y'all are instead of listening to what he had to say, nobody's like literally just listening. It's like, wait a minute, because you ain't gonna disrespect me like you did him now. I'm gonna respect you, you respect me. Thank you.
You get taken down same way.
Wait, guys, I want to hear everybody's opinion on this, please. Let her speak.
How you gonna come on this? I'm sorry. How you gonna come on this woman's platform and just take over her stuff like that? You don't do that. We're having a conversation. This is the problem in the Black community. We can't have a conversation. It's like, if you don't agree with me, then fuck you. Then fuck what you talking about. And da, 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 da. No, I'm gonna tell you something. As a Black woman, I can say that there are certain things that Kevin Samuel said that I saw videos on, and certain things that he said that I didn't agree with, and some things that I did agree with. You gonna hop on me because of my opinions? That's crazy. This person just said, hey, look, this person was an image consultant. So in that turn, what he's doing is he's capitalizing off of what he already knows. He'd say, okay, well, like, look, this is what you're lacking as a person. This is what's not desirable about you. And I've literally heard Kevin Samuel say to a woman, you're too fat. You have too many kids. You're not worthy of being loved. He said those exact words.
Okay, no, he didn't. No,
he did. Everybody, let Melody run her panel.
Let me run my panel. Let me talk. Hold on, Ash, real quick. I've never heard him say those words.
I heard him. I heard it on a short, baby. I swear I would never.
That's the problem. You listen to these short edit clips. You need to watch. You need to watch the whole full episode clip of the shows from that episode. That's the problem. And that's the problem. That's like I pointed it out. You listen to short edited clips.
Let's hear what she has to say, and then we
said
can.
what she said, though.
No, I didn't say what I said. I said what I said until you didn't agree anymore. Is what I did. So, and I apologize. Is it Melody?
Melody, yes.
Melody, I apologize. But I'm just saying, just speaking from my point of view, it's just the conversation that needs to be had of, what, okay, yeah, this is what's going on in the dating world. This is what's undesirable about us. But also, we have to also talk about having sex with people that are undesirable to you. See, this is the accountability that Black men don't take. They don't say, okay, well, I had sex with her. I don't see no life with her, nothing like that. That girl can see a life with me all day, but I don't see no life with her. I'm gonna lay down with her and I'm gonna have unprotected sex with her, and I'm gonna get her pregnant, and then as soon as she starts tripping, I'm gonna leave on her.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a buck on her.
And who's opening their legs up, making
Mel,
these
wait,
letting these dudes raw dog her like that?
let me speak.
That's
Mel,
exactly
let me, Mel, let me speak with her. Hold on. Hello. Let me speak with her real quick. It's not the man. I don't believe that it's the man's fault though, Ash, because the woman is the key holder. She holds the key to sex. So
I
if
get
she's-
that.
Right. So if she's spreading her legs unprotected, that's not his fault. He's just doing what he's doing.
What that got to do with
Oh,
Kevin Samuels, though?
but this is the thing though.
That's what
How
I
is
was
it that we
wondering.
can hold a woman accountable for being fat or having children, even if you are in a relationship with one man, and you had 3 kids, and y'all relationship ran its course, and you're no longer with someone, and you say, okay, well, you know, this, that, and third. A woman, I can take accountability. Any woman should be able to take accountability and say, okay, well, I laid with him unprotected, and I'm gonna take care of this baby. But then they say, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just do it because that's you and your problem. This is the accountability. It's like in our community all together. It's like we want to place the blame on you, place the blame on me. No, I'm gonna take accountability for what I'm supposed to take accountability for, and you're gonna take accountability for what you're supposed to take accountability for. And that's where, and that, and wait a minute, no.
Kevin did that.
And that's where we're able to sit down and actually have the conversations. When I say,
that's not
okay,
the
I'm
conversation, the
accountable,
topic that was going on, but Ash, are
I'm
you
being
fat?
accountable.
All right,
Liz-
real quick. But what I want to ask you this, because we're talking about Kevin Samuels and his life. So you have anything nice to say about him?
Clearly not.
What?
Do you have anything good to say about Kevin?
Thank you, Melody, for being so nice and sweet to me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he was he was entertaining. He was very entertaining. I learned some things from him about myself and certain traits and characteristics about myself, things that I've seen in other women. And then it's also brought out the insecurities of the Black men in our community too. It's brought out so many just people that's just so hard on. It's just like me saying, oh, what I realized from Kevin Samuels, what he taught me is that I can't blame every man for everything. But what he taught me is that all the Black men is blaming all the Black women for everything. And that hurts.
Oh man,
That's what
man.
Let me hear Game Changer. Hold on. Let me hear from Game Changer. I haven't heard him. Go ahead, Game Changer.
No, I was asking Ash, are you fat?
No.
Okay.
Are you a single mother?
Yes.
Who made you a single mother?
So this is one of the problems that we have in the community. We clearly have somebody who claims to not be fat. However, she's encouraging fatness in others. So we need to be careful of the type and quality of people that we're talking to here. That's all I wanted to say.
Wait a minute.
Melody,
So
may I
this
be
is-
next, please?
You are next, Classy.
Yeah, you're next.
Ash,
So,
can
go
I ask
ahead. What were you going to say, Ash?
Oh, I'm sorry. Ash, well, I was going to question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fatness. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Ash.
No,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, Ash. Finish what you had to say, and then I want to hear from Classy.
Okay, I wasn't encouraging fatness from anybody, but there's a difference between just being more and just being like a person that just bigger. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I don't know what you're saying.
we should.
She was breaking up and boarding right now.
Well, they sound like men.
I like this man. I like him big. So I'm just not understanding what is it that when instead of looking at people for who they are, it's like you want them to have certain traits, but then you want them to be shaped a certain way. It's like you're looking for
because that's a preference. It's called a preference.
No, let her finish.
Okay. Understand this, Ash. Yes, men are going to look for certain traits, and one of those traits that very few men look for is being fat. So with that understanding, a woman should not look to be fat.
Well, if I
Are
could say
you fat?
something here, No, he's not. Hold on? Let me say something really fast here. So, because this
I
is
was waiting for a long time.
I know, but
speak?
you've spoken a lot more than I have, Mel. To be fair.
I haven't said it's the golden child. I haven't said anything.
Oh, it's golden child. Oh my God.
Golden speak.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know you were here. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought it was
Baby
Mel
ass
because he
Mike.
keeps interrupting. I apologize. I
Golden Child,
apologize.
turn up your mic, Golden Child.
Guys, we're gonna let Golden Child and then Classy and then Mel.
Thank you.
He's low.
Oh, well, I mean, you're after Golden Child and then Classy and then Mel.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
What I wanted to say is about all of this, right? It's funny to me that our sisters will get online and say they have a problem with a black man. Actually, they have to call this black man that no longer with us, and all due respect to Kevin, we're gonna miss him, and say that they don't like his tone and delivery, right? And I can remember I'm a black man, and I grew up in a black household with a black mother, with black sisters, and I can remember black women talking to black kids like no other. Motherfucker, this, that, and the third, bitch, this, bitch, that. They don't talk about their delivery when they speaking to their kids, but they get online and have a nerve to be upset with an individual that they have to go seek out and search for, and sit there and listen to this man for hours speak about black women that call in and ask them questions, and he only answer their question about them. And you have a nerve to have this much animosity towards a man who lost his life, have left us, right? Only thing this man was trying to do is provide for his family, himself, and make a living and a spot in this life, in this piece of shit of a life we have. And y'all have the audacity to sit online and talk about this man like a dog. But yet you got these young black men out here dying every fucking day in the street like dogs, and you whores don't say shit. You fat bitches sit online and you complain about
stop saying ooh.
Thing. My bad.
No.
Stop
saying ooh, man. Say ooh.
They're starting to be out here in the street, worrying about these motherfucking dumbass kids out here murdering and slaughtering each other. They're worried about a 50-year-old man who didn't damn near live his life. Well, he no longer with us now, but lived his life. And you're gonna complain about him stunning these motherfuckers out here killing each other in the street, and y'all have the nerve to get online and complain about a motherfucking man. And you bitches know you fat and out of shape and ain't
talk your shit.
He wasn't lying. It ain't like the man was lying. I see he was lying about you. Then you got a right to be upset. But he ain't lying. The rappers in these rap songs call you bitches and whores all fucking day. But you don't complain about them. Y'all always complaining about everybody else besides your motherfucking self. And that's your motherfucking problem. That's why you bitches going to hell in a handbasket. Thank
you for that.
Okay. Tell us what you really think, though, right? He waited. He saved that shit up. He was ready.
Man, talk that shit. Talk that shit. Preach that truth.
All right, let's have
Okay, I just wanted to say this really fast, and then I'll give the rest of the time to Classy.
Let me land the plane.
Oh, you got more? Okay, go ahead.
About this shit no more. You fat bitches still got to live like that. Now, how about that? You nasty.
Ooh, yeah.
Well done, right?
He can't hear you any motherfucking way. You dumb bitches. Worry about them slit them down.
All right, we get it. We get it.
That's why I said Miss Extra Special. Tell us how you really feel. Okay.
Yeah. We don't want to get our, channel.
Yeah. We don't want to get shadow banned. So let's try to keep it PG most of the time. But let me just say this. I wanted to just respond to Ash from earlier.
These bitches with this shit because you nasty boys you're trying to slick this.
You change your dick size up. I can lose. We can lose weight out here. I can lose.
Okay. Yo, we're not getting into gutter muck bullshit today. Thank you.
Why not? Let them.
Come on,
let's keep it classy. Come on, guys, keep it classy.
All these women.
We got it. Golden. We got it, Golden.
Well, let's start some. Okay, we got 2 people with class in their name on the panel. That's enough for now. Okay, so let me just say this really fast, and I'm going to give it over to Classy, because I wanted to just respond to something Ash said earlier. And here's my thing, right? We act like what Kevin Samuels was saying was new to this space or was revolutionary in some way, but the things he had been talking about, just what he had brought to the space, he had been saying for years and years. And a lot of stuff he said, the men have been saying in this space and in reality for a very long time. But not only that, he's using basic principles of psychology, of marketing, of manipulation, of stuff like that. So we all know, for example, image matters. We all know that people make huge judgments about everything about you in the first 5 seconds that they see you, right? So as much as, yeah, you're a real person underneath your image and so on and so forth, and people should get to know the real you too, we do know that you are being judged and either picked or discarded based on your image. So it is a really valid point he was using. He wasn't just using opinion with that point. And it's like, it's really the tone. And yeah, and I get why the tone hurts. I get why the offense is there. I get it. But he wasn't saying something that was wrong or different. It's just more the way he was saying it and the way how, he knew how to cut people down, just in the same way how, let's be real, women are good with their tongue.
The same thing. You notice that you just said the same exact thing that they're saying. It wasn't his tone and his delivery.
No, but here's the thing, sir, respectfully, wait, whoa. Here's the thing, right? Men and women are different. Okay, I didn't say there's anything wrong with this tone. I said that was the only difference between the 50,000 other people who said it and then him saying it. That was the only difference between why she said she learned stuff. She said she heard it. So what made her listen? It was the tone that made her listen. Let's be real, because the actual message wasn't different, right?
His detractors, that's the problem.
They were complaining about the tone because it made them listen. See, that's the thing. They didn't like the tone because it made them listen. And that was the whole point. It was a good tactic and it worked.
The tone is not the problem. I'm telling you,
the tone made them listen.
It's not the issue with these black bitches. Come on. These hoes talk
like this. Stop saying that. Stop.
Please. PG language. You can use another word.
When you start listening to it on the radio, bitch, I'll start saying it. So fuck that shit.
But you're going to
I don't want my screen shut down. This is the problem. I don't want my screen shut down. Thank you.
They don't care about us. They don't care about us. They don't care if we struggling with children. They don't care. They don't care if I was to say I don't want to be in a relationship with you. They don't care about that. As long as you still have a sex with me, then I can raise the child. But if you ain't having sex with me no more, I can't raise no child. Y'all don't care about us. Y'all don't care if we get raped. Y'all don't care if we get beat. Y'all don't care about none of that. I ain't never seen nobody. I ain't never seen that one of my black brothers go and go find my rapist and go beat his ass where the fuck he stood and beat him to death. I ain't never seen that. But then you'll sit there and call me a black bitch and a black hoe.
Melody, can I respond?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
Let GC, because I think GC wanted to respond with what she just said. And you're next. I promise, Classy. I'm so sorry. You're next, though.
Why should we care?
Why should I give a fuck about y'all?
Okay, so don't. Please leave.
Okay. The fuck?
All right.
And
right quick, if I can surmise what happened. Fellas, let's just be a lesson. You do not have to care. If a chick made a series of poor decisions that led her be a single mother, you don't have to care about her or her dad.
I said about me being raped.
What about the black boys? What about the black boys from the single mother?
You are a part of a racist society. You do not have to give.
Y'all fault. Y'all right there.
Give a
shit. I really would like to get into that.
Yelling and talking over each other. I want one at a time. But let me hear from.
And that be the thing. They can't give
everyone mute up while GC is talking, and then Classy.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, GC.
All right. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. You see, just because you share a race with somebody, you don't actually have to give a shit about their shitty lives, especially if their shitty lives is the result of a series of shitty decisions that they have made in their lives. You actually don't have to care. If you see a woman who's struggling with kids or something like that, or struggling with, the result of her poor vagina habits, you as a man do not have to give a shit about that. And that is the unfortunate truth that they do not want you to hear. You see, they feel that they can shit out children and have somebody else clean it up, have somebody else wipe their ass. We actually don't. We
Yeah, but
of course we
GC,
have to pay taxes, and the taxes go to crap like that. But
exactly.
generally speaking, we don't have to give a shit. They are upset that fewer men, black men, are giving a shit about the plight of our sisters who went out and did some dumb shit.
But GC,
Just ignore them. And
if you're not concerned about what going on in that backyard, that can affect you, because those same kids can grow up to be, violent. They could grow up to be whatever. So you can't just ignore it. Like you said, okay, it's going to come out a little bit of tax dollars, but it's going to be more detrimental than simply you pay more taxes. It's going to be more prisons. It's going to be more prisons. There's going to be more prisons. It's going to
these black kids. How about
It's going to
that?
be.
All right, guys. No, it was Classy's turn, guys. Can you please
I'm gonna go
talk?
after Classy.
It was Classy turn. It was Classy
Yeah,
turn.
let him talk. He hasn't said a word yet. Hi, Classy.
Hello, Mel. How's it going?
Hi, everything's good. How are you, love?
I'm doing fine. At first, I wanted to question that Al person because he had said he had verifiable facts about Kevin going to Oklahoma University. And from a person who knows him personally and have family members that went to school with him, actually knows the facts versus typing up whatever's in Google that's probably not even 100% factual. Secondly, I want to talk to Ash, the one that's making all the noise.
Talk to me.
The men that got you pregnant.
She like the
Did
attention.
you vet them before you got pregnant?
Did I vet them?
Yes, the few men that
Well, why
you talk
do you
to.
say them?
He was
Why do you
cute.
say
That was
them?
it.
Excuse
Why do you
me.
say them?
Well, you said, or your baby father. What did you know about him that made you say that it was okay to have kids by this man?
I knew him since I was in high school. I knew him since I was in 9th grade. We dated throughout 9th grade, and we broke up when I turned 26. And he said that since I didn't want to be in a relationship with him anymore, he said that he can't raise our kids.
Shit, why you didn't want to be a wife though?
That's
Didn't
what I was going to ask.
didn't want to be a wife.
Wait a minute. Here comes the segment. Why would I want to marry someone and just
You's a liar.
No. Be quiet. Let me ask her a question.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead, Classy.
Why would you marry someone? So why would you give the highest value to a man that you don't want to marry, that you've known for a long time?
Because when you fucking, you just know.
Hold up. I want her to answer the question.
I think there's something wrong with her.
No disrespect. No disrespect to any of y'all.
Something happened to her phone, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her phone is fucked up.
I'm sorry.
Ash, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. He asked you a question. You want to ask her again?
No, I heard the question. No, I thought I wanted to marry him until things that he was doing was just starting to get a bit too unbearable for me. So I figured that we should go our separate ways. I figured, hey, it's not
What'd he do?
No.
What'd he do?
He was just lying about everything. He was lying about the finances. It's like the bills were getting paid, but I want to start businesses. I want to start investing. So I'm investing my money. I'm saving my money. I'm doing everything that I need to do, but you're buying bottles of liquor and you're telling me that the guy at the Indian store gave you a whole bunch of bottles of liquor, knowing that you just went and spent, like, you just blew a bag on liquor just to have it in the house.
Whoa. Let me finish. I'm about to get into the meat of it. Let me finish, please. Now, see, I work in the hospital now. I'm going to ask you this question. When you went to the hospital, who decided to have those children, knowing that this man was about buying liquor and claiming to spin the bag? Who decided to have these children when they went to the doctor?
I'm gonna tell you something. My whole thing.
No. I just want a yes or no question on this because
No,
I'm
that's
so
not-
sick and tired of women doing this.
Abortion is not an option for me. So if he doesn't want to be
Okay,
here, the
fine,
kids
thank
will
you.
be taken
Okay,
care of regardless.
so my next question is this.
Well, thank you for that. I'll give you props for that. Thank you for that.
My next question is this. He was so bad, you don't believe in abortion, but you decided to have his children and complain about him later. Does that make any sense?
Wait a minute now. Let's go back now.
How many kids do you have by this man?
2.
Oh God, go ahead,
So
Melody.
you
I'm
knew he
done.
was
You
fucked
got
up
it.
the
All right, let me go. Let me go.
Okay, so y'all take what y'all want and then run with it. But you don't listen to the whole situation. Because life ain't just what the fucking cookie cutter in your stupid ass head.
Okay.
Listen,
Ash,
Hold on, let her
let me ask you
Hold
something.
on,
I thought this was
wait,
about
Mel,
Kevin.
Mel, let her respond and then you go because she wants
Yeah.
to get it out. So let her respond and then you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, the reason why I didn't want to get married is because I knew that this is not a person that I could exist with.
God damn
Even
it.
though this guy from high school,
Hello?
even though I knew him from
Go ahead and finish.
You got it.
Oh, even though I knew this guy from high school, even though I felt like I could spend the rest of my life with him, I had began to see things that I knew wasn't going to benefit our future. If you're lying to me about certain stuff, and I'm saying, let's go get counseling about it. The first thing a black man does, and I'm not talking about just men that I know, family.
You Borgen.
Hey,
How many business do you have down?
She's Borgen.
I'm sorry.
We didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
you bored. Hey, Melody. Hey, real quick, y'all. Hey, Melody, I gotta take off, but I just gotta say, like, you made your choice, Ash. You know what I'm saying? And now you gotta live with it. I'm just like this. Give that dude custody.
The choice. Why do
You
y'all
chose
do
him,
that?
girl.
It's
Because
not
you chose
about,
this,
it's not
Kevin.
about
It is what it
that.
is.
Yeah.
Thing.
But
This
all
is
right,
the thing.
Melody.
It's not
Take
about
it
It
easy,
is what it
Melody.
is, man.
Thanks for coming.
It's not.
All
It's
right.
not about. It's not about him wanting to be with me or him wanting to take care of my kids. It's about taking accountability. If I have taken the accountability to have child support, I ain't even looking for child support. I don't even go after
That's
him and
not
call him no
being
more.
brought
I
up
don't do
now.
none of that because I don't want the law. Listen. I don't want the law. I don't want the law. Listen, because y'all always talking about black woman's point of view, and y'all don't even have a black woman's point of view outside of all this shit. Y'all don't have the point of view that you need because there's different points of view that you need to see.
Hold it.
My whole thing is talk to your brothers about raising their kids instead of talking to them about the new J, instead of talking to them about the new car.
Come on, man.
What?
You done, Ash?
Let's get back.
No, I'm not. Because every time I'm sitting here trying to drive a point, y'all get to interrupting me.
Because we don't want
I'm trying to talk to you and everything. You keep on interrupting me.
Y'all
I'm
win.
sorry, there's so many people talking. I don't know who's trying to really actually connect with me.
Okay, fine. Hey, listen, Ash, let Mel wanted to ask you a question. Let Mel ask the question and then you respond. Go ahead.
I kind of
I noticed that earlier you mentioned about the EPAW and everything. Was you sexual assaulted in your past?
Oh my God.
Personal question. Don't ask
personal
that.
as fuck. That's
Yes.
personal.
Yes.
Don't ask
Did
that.
you actually go to therapy and get help
And
for
he
that?
ask whatever he want to ask.
Man, I thought we
Did you went to therapy and get help for that?
Yes.
Was this during your marriage that this happened?
She wasn't married.
Before?
Before.
She wasn't married. She just a jump on. Come on, man. Let's get back to Kevin.
And you still holding this?
No.
Yeah, we're off topic.
This is part of the topic because you don't kind of realize this actually has an effect on your relationship. Why it actually ended the way it did.
He's still going, man. We don't want to hear that
Okay,
shit, man.
can you tell me how that is?
Really, you were sexual assaulted, right? You went to therapy, but did you feel it helped? You broke up your relationship with the father of your kids. Nitpicking the way you did. Was he paying the bills? Probably so.
Yes.
He was paying all the bills.
No, I wasn't paying all the bills. No, I only paid small bills. He paid big bills.
That's what I'm saying. He paid
So
May
at
I
this
get a
time,
chance to speak?
hold on. I have a
on the
question.
table.
I have a
That's
proposal. Hold
actually
on.
more
Wait.
important.
I have a
And you
proposal. Hold on.
nitpick
Can
the
we,
point of
guys,
because
wait. Pause for a second. Pause for a second. I have
Ruby's
a
gonna ask a
question.
question. Go ahead, Ruby.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
I have a
God, this is
proposal.
terrible.
Maybe what we could do, if Ash is up for it, right, is we could actually have a show and talk about this as a separate thing. Because I see people want to go into it. I see Ash really wants to actually explain and defend her position, and she feels misunderstood. Maybe we can actually do a show about this, because I do think at this point we are getting really off topic. It's like, we're making it all about now Ash and her life, and it's like, well, why don't we just talk about that on a separate show? We can actually do that as a show, and then we can
that's a
get
good
back to the
idea.
topic.
Let's
the
do
ad
that.
show. The
But
ad show.
in the meantime, let's get to Elian. He's been waiting for a long time. Did I say it
So
right?
email Melody, so
It's
that we can set
Elian.
something up with you.
Elian, I'm sorry. Yes, email me
Elian
at
D. Lipsy.
sweetmelodyspeaks@gmail.com. Could somebody drop my email? sweetmelodyspeaks@gmail.com.
Why I gotta turn
Okay, so we
Sweet
have
Melody?
Elian. Hi, Elian.
Hi, Melody. Hi, guys. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hello.
I'm not going to go ahead and bring up or talk about Ash specifically regarding to it, but tied into with Kevin Samuels and his passing, and the guy Al, what Classy has brought up regarding to it. Well, I want to say this for Ash, you definitely go ahead and re-represent a lot of what Kevin Samuels was doing for the show, on his show, and for Black men, the Black community, Black couples, all of that. That all ties into it. I understand. I hear how you're coming from, but he talks about this all the time in almost every show in a different angle regarding to it. The man did a lot regarding to a lot of people. I can get regarding the tone, but just like he said on his show, it's not about his tone. It's about the message. It's the same way as in, not to compare him to like the prophet. It was the same way even back then. His detractors were at him regarding to his message, because a lot of Black women go after his message too. So that's still the same way, and Black men. But in the same manner, his detractors, when it came to Jesus, it was his tone, it was his message that was the problem. But if anyone who is a Christian, Catholic, any Protestant, all of that, the message regarding to what Jesus said was pure, true, to the heart. That's what his message was. To what Al was saying regarding to Kevin Samuels, I want to say too. He wants to go ahead and talk about Kevin Samuel as a personality. Here's the difference regarding to a personality and an actor or acting. When you're acting of a total different person, a total different entity. You're not being who you are. A personality will accentuate and may, like some people have said, go for pinpoints to go ahead and survive and grow in YouTube. You have to have some rough edges that rub people the wrong way to kind of strive in YouTube, because you have, like a lot of people say, a lot of your views, a lot of your viewers, and a lot of your subscribers are going to be your haters. That's going to be the truth. But as a personality, that still was a part of him. Even if it was not exactly who he is outside or off camera, he still brought himself, or at least a majority, 50%, 30%, 45%, no matter the case, he brought himself with that show every time he came. So what he was doing still had a part of him there. A part of him was still being displayed on that. So for Al, if he's still listening or anything else like that, your argument is not even valid because you're not even using the not to detract what he's saying. You're not even using the words properly. Like you're not even looking up the words in the dictionary regarding to a personality and what you're saying. You're using very elaborate words to try to detract anyone arguing because you sound like you're an Ivy League student that learned reporting, but in all honesty, you're not using your words correctly. So regarding to all of that, that's partially what I would want to go ahead and say. And thank y'all for giving me the time to go ahead and speak that. But Ash, I also want to go back to you go ahead and talk. If you go back and listen to everything that he did and don't listen to clips like some people had said to you, you're looking at clips. Look at his whole catalog. You can't go ahead and judge a person off of 5 seconds of a story. You don't judge a book just because of the cover. You have to read each and every page. And not even just read every page. You got to read between the lines of every word that is said. You got to combine words to understand the meaning and the purpose of it. If it's just because he says you're fat, fine. If he just says you're fat and ugly and that's the end of it, that's the end of the story, I will give you that credit. But if the person says you're fat, you're unattractive to the majority, here's what people want. If you start to follow through on more everything that is said and bring it all around, instead of condensing the trigger words, you have an argument to go ahead and argue. You have a fight to go ahead and fight. But you cannot go ahead, nobody should ever go ahead and try to have an argument, a distaste, a dislike, just off of trigger words. Because if that is the case, no offense to any of the ladies, any women across the world, but he says this most. There are more shows, videos, songs to go ahead and disrespect men. Men got songs talking about women being bitches and hoes, but still, if you really look at it, that's still really targeting the women that fit the mold. But if you look at a lot of shows, they hit the whole thing. Like any women on the panel or anyone in the chat, anybody, tell me, if you, especially as a guy or even as a woman, tell me how many times have you heard men are dogs?
I am a dog, though.
Then I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Wolf with you, my nigga. I'm sorry, Wolf, my nigga. I'm sorry. Hey, but on real, how many times have personal conversations at the salon, nail shop, when you have your personal parties, girls' night out, girls' summer, or guys, when we hear this regarding to they talking about their past or anything else, you say men are dogs. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit some Kevin Samuels on this panel. Statistically, regarding to who go ahead and has the opportunity to be able to even get a chance with most of the women out here, is still in the upper echelon. I would still say 30%, all of the high value men. And then there are, the guys that are the players that they're not even high value, but they're still the good looking, the player, the charismatic, all of that. They're the ones who do. I will be honest with you, because I will be the one you go into it like the loser club. I'm on the lower end of the spectrum on that tip. I'm also the fly on the wall. I've always hung around with beautiful women. I've always been like cool with them, friend zoned. I hear the conversations from me in different aspects of state, type of area, if it's hood, suburban, whatever. I hear that a lot, that generalize men are dogs. And if I say, and how many of you guys, if you say something like, they'll say, oh no, not you. But the problem is that you don't, still is the language. That's the book. You end the book right there most of the time for the ladies that say that all the time or often or period. Men are dogs. End of story. That means that any person that has a sack with 2 balls dangling around, they are already a dog just off sight. And you have to prove, you have to go over it's not even a hill, it's a mountain. And it's not even just a simple mountain, it's like Mount Everest with no oxygen tank. You have to climb that up just to go ahead and prove the point that we're not what you think we are, or we're not what is being have been fed to you. And girls hear about this all, and honestly, and like, for all the mothers that are listening, how often do you have these conversations and your daughter is there and they hear this story? Men are dogs. They hear, that's the end of it. They don't say this person is a dog because of what they did. This person, should be the fair narrative. And also in the same case, like, even if you say men are dogs, like, let's be real. Are you women, most women are not even interacting, and I'm not even saying seeing, interacting with at least 40% of the men in America. Let's say just in America, you do not even mess with 40% of the men that are in your town, city, zip code. You don't. You never do. Because there are plenty of guys that you, like he said, like a lot of people in the manosphere will say, there's plenty of men that you would not look at. You will turn your look down as soon as they try to get eye contact with you. So
facts.
So
I've been
the
talking to Melanie for a minute. She still ain't hit me up.
What?
So I know
Oh
that
my
answer's
God.
off, but that's what I just want to say is like she proves the point regarding to what he's saying. What he's saying probably hits her in the heart because there may be a lot of points that are truth on that, and it is what it is. And everyone knows that when the truth hits the heart, you kind of feel some type of way. That's just what it is. But in all fairness, you have to go ahead and read the whole book before you go ahead and make a decision regarding to if you want to hate and argue or even agree. You have to look at the whole thing.
Yeah,
And that's what
everything
Yo,
you said
let me
extends
jump
to
in
like
here.
every community.
Yeah, we can hear
Wait,
you.
before you jump in, let me read the super chat, and then we're gonna go with Naf because he's next.
Oh,
All
you mind
right,
if I go
so
next? That's because I gotta go to work. So I'll let you finish the chat. I'm sorry, Nab. Yeah.
yeah, let Mel go then Naf because he gotta go. So Michael, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, Ash, love, do you understand why your baby daddy is your best marriage option? Life really is about kids, not grown-ups. Sheila?
Oh, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's a lot more that goes into that. And I don't feel like I can really heal. Like if I have a person that's here with me and I'm saying I need to heal from certain things, there's certain plateaus that I'm trying to reach and you're not trying to get there with me. I'm saying let's go to counseling together. I'm the one holding everything on my back. I'm the one holding the kids on my back. I'm the one holding your kids from other shit that you got going on. I'm holding that on my back. Nah, that wasn't my best marriage option. And just like men have the decision to say, okay, well, this person's doing this and this person's doing that, and I don't want to have any part of that. If she's got nails and she's got weave, if she's a bad bitch and listening to Megan Thee Stallion, I don't want to be with somebody. You just because you're with somebody and just because it doesn't mean that your time won't come to an end with someone just because you have children with them. My whole thing is saying that no matter who you decide to go be with them. Let me meet her because we have a soul connection. We have children together. But if I decide to not be with you, you shouldn't be greedy and be like, okay, well, since I can't have access to you, the children can't have access to me. That's it.
Right, facts. Well, thanks for that. And guys, please stop putting people in timeout. Just let them rock. And definitely don't block anybody. Thank you.
Yeah, and I really, really, really hope that you email Melody so we can actually do a full discussion because I actually think that you make some points that I agree with and that I make as well, and I'm not well liked for making. So I think it would be a good discussion if you came back.
Exactly.
I do want to ask.
Well,
She said, "Oh yeah."
well, can let Naf go and then You can go after that. Wait, did Mel ask the question?
Mel
No,
wanted
Mel
to-
didn't
Mel,
answer
then
it.
Naf,
Yeah,
then
the
GP.
whole,
Go ahead.
the whole thing is I already have a saying all the time. It's not who says it, it's not how it's said or who says it. It's the fact that it was said. Because we hear this truth multiple times. Women complain about how his tone was, but I have heard females saying in opposite of what he said, but still similar. We know two of them. Zahara Shah Ali, definitely. And she wrote a book about this, and they attacked her like crazy. Rebecca Lynn Pope. Rebecca Lynn Pope.
What about Dame Dash?
Huh?
What about Dame Dash when he was talking all that shit on the Breakfast Club? His
I
talk
haven't
was
heard that
fucked up.
interview. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
My bad.
But
If you ain't here,
yeah, she had that famous video that we always tell about women's unrealistic expectations, and they ain't saying in a harsh way the way Kevin said it, but they still was attacked. I remember Aliana Van Zandt attacked Zahra Ali on a talk show many years ago about how she felt about the relationship between black men and women. She told the truth about it, and many years later, now Aliana Van Zandt is like, you know what, this woman was right years ago because I've seen it now for myself. So it's like sometimes like the brother was saying, the brother was saying, like sometimes when the truth really hits you that hard and you get upset and angry about it because they speaking about you and you know it, and you know there's some things you got to fix and tweak and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like
you might see. Here's the whole factor that will come for us men in the manosphere that most of us teach each other self accountability. We do teach self accountability amongst each other because of the choices we made for the type of woman we keep choosing. The fact is that the results we get is going to be different from the women because we kind of bounce back faster than y'all because we come at each other hard way and everything. I can't keep blaming every female that mistreated me in my past because I'm the common denominator that keeps letting it happen. I have to analyze my life now.
Exactly.
I work on myself.
Right.
I'm able to bounce back faster than y'all than a woman can.
Uh-oh.
Y'all don't bounce back faster than we do because this is how y'all hold it. This is how y'all bounce back. Y'all constantly date to the next man with that hope.
Those are facts. No, those are facts. Those are facts.
I'm speaking on, well, if I can't speak on, because just like he said, we haven't even experienced 40% of the population, so I can really only speak about me and the circle of women that I
That's
know.
what he's talking about.
I know.
We can speak on the large percentage because we put in notes, and there's data that proves it also too that backs up what we say. Y'all women recycle the same small percentage of guys over and over. The faces might be new.
Anybody who's gonna open their legs.
But it's still a small percentage of type. There's a large percentage of guys that get looked over like crazy. And this is why we hold it. This is why we trying to tell y'all also too to get y'all help so you can get to this large percentage of guys. Oh yeah, they're not prepackaged. So what? You can still build with those guys. Most men are waiting for females to step to them.
Yeah.
They're not going to go and step to you the way you want to. They're waiting for them to step to you.
We're going to talk about this on the interview. I want to get back to the subject, but let's get back to DJ Naf. What's on your mind?
What's up? So shout out to you. Shout out to Melody, everybody. So I got a few points that I jotted down, but one of the things stuck out was everybody was focusing on his tone. So I was driving yesterday when my man was hitting me up, one of my mentees, you know what I'm saying? For cats that know me, I've been around for a little bit. And I DJ. So it's a young boy, Zillennial. That nigga was called me like 3 times in a row. I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna hit you back in a minute. He's like, yo, you saw the news? And he told me about Kevin. So he's like, yeah, I saw it on Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. People were celebrating it. That is a fact. And I was like, wow. And a lot of it has to do with his tone. But what I want to point out, and y'all might have already discussed it, a lot of his tone, for people that haven't been following him for years, and I want to touch on that a little bit too, the history of how he got to this space, and I'm going to do it briefly. But he was like, yo, like, the Black community is in a sense of urgency right now. You know what I'm saying? If we want to come together, then this conversation has to happen. And in order for you to hear something, anybody that was an athlete, you had a coach that yelled at you, etc. Okay, he was a professional consultant, right? Image consultant, right? Is what he was known for. So that means that requires a sense of truth. There's no time to sugarcoat anything or be bashful or whatever. You got to come straight up. Listen, you fucking up. You need to get your shit together. Depending on what type of job you work, it'd be the same thing. Like depending on what type of, I guess, boss you have or whatever. Listen, we need you to tighten up, et cetera, et cetera. He came from sales. I know sales is a little more crucial because I have personal friends that work in sales, right? And they be on you like, yo, you don't eat if you don't get paid or whatever. So we need you to step it up. Yo, you fell short. So that was his approach, right? People focus too much on his tone, but like a lot of y'all said on the panel, his message was the truth. And then like I look at like GC's message is the truth. He does it in a more humorous way, when he's like, I want you to make a sandwich and suck my penis or something crazy. That should be funny as fuck to me. But there is some truth in it. But his approach is like, yo, listen, this is what I'm about. They need to hear it. People respond to him differently. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, or he hasn't risen to Kevin's level yet, I think, because the approach that he's decided to take. Like, he don't want that. I get that, et cetera, et cetera. But my point is, we could talk about tone, but then we have to look at the message, and there's very few women that listen to the message. You and Ruby.
I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question then?
Oh, here we go. Go ahead.
No, it's just what you said, the tone. Like, we talking about women for, you know what I'm saying?
Who cares, bro? It's the message.
I know you're going to say that. But what I'm saying,
so why you asking me the question?
Because I have to put it to you in a way I think you could understand. If you're slacking off,
you
right?
sound like a female already. I said what I said. There's nothing.
Yo, calm down a little bit.
His
Let him say what he's gonna say. We'll go.
I'm the female, but his tone went up. But what I'm saying is, if I tell you to do something, I'd be like, yo, bitch, you do this, you do that. You feel me? You need to lose weight. Like, as a matter of fact, when he was talking to the average at best girl, Kevin Samuels, you didn't see how he humiliated her? You don't think he could have said that in a different way?
Again, like I said, you're coming
are we
from
critiquing his behavior, or are we celebrating, his accomplishments?
No, we're talking about the tone. That's what we're talking about. That's what everybody does.
I want to respond to that.
He's just like he wasn't here.
He asked me, or who he asked?
I asked you, Naf, right?
Naf,
yeah. I asked you when you seen that video, right, how he humiliated that girl,
right?
Okay, or that woman. Sorry. Was there not a better way for him to put that?
And this is why I said, and
it's
again,
really not the time to discuss like what he could have did.
No. I get it with GC.
I'm going off his premise, GC.
Can I
Why
answer
did you
that
check
question
him
after
though?
you know?
No, GC keep on telling me like he the one that made the premise about the tone.
He's not giving a negative critique of the dead. That's why I'm not doing that.
That's it. No, he made the premise.
He's
talking about the negative critique.
I asked the question.
That's my problem right there, man. You either gonna love him while he alive, you gonna hate him while he alive.
Naf was talking about the negative critiques. That's what I'm talking about. The negative critiques. He made the premise.
No. You're making a negative critique.
Right. No, I'm not.
Right.
I want to respond.
Was a controversial figure. Let's just talk about all the good things.
Can I go ahead and respond now?
Had a nice answer. He dressed pretty fly. I want to do y'all dress like him. Do y'all wear the tie?
Let's talk about all the good things.
Right.
Can I go ahead and respond to that answer?
Hold on.
That
I need a bell. Ruby, I need a bell to ring.
Let me respond, please?
I need something. So let me just say this, okay? Because Game Changer was next. Were you done, Naf?
No, I ain't even like.
Okay, no one please cut Naf off. Let him get it all out, and then once he do that,
let Naf answer, and then I think somebody else wanted to answer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was going to answer the question.
Do it. Somebody else, if you have something to say about what he's talking about, don't go off topic.
Right.
Then you can give your opinion, and then I want GC. Okay,
I do.
So
I do.
It's a little off topic, but it's fair because I presented like, yo, and I want to again reiterate the context. People were celebrating this man's death because of his tone, not necessarily his message. So that's why I brought it up. You asked a fair question, right?
Yeah.
And then you asked me a question based off of that.
Yeah.
So do I think that he could have presented a different way? The reason that I said, because I knew where you were coming from, like, yo, you already coming from a female's perspective. As a masculine man, that's not your concern. You say what you say, meaning like, now let me finish. if you got a group of
I didn't even say
homeboys,
that.
if you got a group of homeboys, right, which I do, solid dudes, right, taller, shorter, whatever, got their stuff going on, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. They can call me out at any time on something like, yo, bro, you fucking up. This is what it is. So I'm looking at it like from that perspective. And that's how he came. He was on some like, yo, I'm a man. Okay, I get it. They're women, but what makes you a man if you have to cater your message? If you can't just say what you want to say, mean what you say, stand on it. It is what it is.
You know why? Because women don't receive it. Women don't receive it the same way men do. With men, you could be more blunt. With women, you have to be a little bit more delicate. That's
why?
Why? Because,
Right
hold on, brother. Because
Can I answer
brother,
something?
No. Wait. I want to say this. I want to say this. I want to say this.
One at a time. Go ahead.
I want to say this. This is why women can't receive him.
No,
What Kevin said, what Kevin be saying be facts, but the women don't absorb it because of how he's saying it.
I got you. Some do, but why should you as a
do.
man change your message?
Because they're women.
Okay,
so you can't tell the nigga. You telling it like a nigga. Like, nigga, you need to get your shit.
Can I answer something too?
Go ahead.
So just like the whole dude said about the baby, he was like, these women don't even talk to their babies a certain way, and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. But they expect to talk to us a different. So, but then that'll be like me coming back and saying, but it's a baby. But it's a baby.
Can I say something?
I would like to hear what you
but the thing is that the child is not going to receive it the same way as the man do, and the woman is not. That's the reason why women and their mothers don't have.
Because
That's the
Elon was
reason
the
why.
person who was next in line to speak.
Yeah, he's next.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are next.
To answer your question, my guy, regarding to it, if you can do it a better way. Once again, I will go ahead and repeat great Kevin Samuels again. How often does that work? And before you respond to anything, it's more rhetorical. How often have you seen that if you go ahead and soften the blow, that the response is better? The concept of it is nice, but honestly, let's be real about this. How often does that still go ahead and become better yet? If you go ahead and talk more in a softer tone, how much of a better guarantee is that going to be put into action?
Well,
and honestly, a lot of men have, and for years, my guy, years, my guy,
bro.
Even in games, men have always go ahead and offer a softer tone with women. Even if it's for a positive thing or if it's for a negative. Anytime that when men are going to get it direct, usually, yes, it's not well received. Fine. But even from women to women, when they go ahead and talk in a, let's say, in a woman way regarding to conversation, how often does that get put into practice instead of being dust under the rug? And honestly, I say that my personal opinion, this is not fact, my personal opinion from what I have seen, it is rarely ever that if you want to go ahead and tell a woman, if you want to tell a woman, hey, if they're cooking bad, you can go ahead and say, it's not the best. But if it's like I've said before, if it's the truth hits them, it doesn't matter how you have your tone. That's what I want to say. If it hits them, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
When you hit, it does not. Because if it pulls a certain string on your soul or heart, you still are going to feel some type of way. No matter how soft you go ahead and throw the punch, if it hits the right spot, you're going to go ahead and feel it.
So, bro,
that's the proof.
So you can tell your wife, hey, bitch, you can't cook. Cook that better, or you could be like, "Babe, that wasn't the best."
But
okay.
Like, which one is better, nigga? Like, are you serious?
Let me say something. The problem, what you're saying is that that's not what Kevin Samuels did. He didn't call her.
He is saying it like that.
No. Let me finish. He's not calling her a bitch. He doesn't even use those terms on his stuff. He said, "Man, woman." So if I say, Miss Lady, your cooking sucks. There's a difference between bitch, your cooking sucks, and Miss Lady, your cooking sucks. The
Okay,
two
so you
last
get it
two
then.
words are the exact same in regard to bluntness. Your cooking is not good, but you're
Okay,
adding
I
in
get
another
that. That's what I'm
context, a
saying, though.
level. Now you're adding a context of disrespect automatically
what
into the conversation, calling her a bitch. Now
Kevin,
that's what I'm,
Kevin
now,
never
that's the problem with.
disrespected.
That's the difference, my G. Like you can't go ahead and say if that's. See, that's a different tone. That's a different tone in itself.
Yeah, but
Saying,
you proved my
bitch, you
point.
can't cook, and Miss Betty, you can't cook. There's a different tone right there.
You proved
So
my
your
point, though.
tone is already off base with your argument. No, sorry to say, but it is because you already are adding a context of disrespect right there. Me saying, Miss Lady, your cooking is bad.
Okay, I get you.
That is
I
not.
get you.
That's still. It hurts. It's
I
gonna
get
hit
you.
her hard. But is that really being disrespectful, or is that just being blunt?
We get you. We get you. What I'm saying is, you kind of proved my point. Maybe you changed the word, but like I said, if I speak harshly to a woman, like I say it with a louder tone instead of just using, I guess, a cuss word in the tone, it don't matter. If I yell at her, it's not gonna garner a positive response. Or if I tell her softly, like it's like how you say it does matter. Like I don't get how you don't see that. Like you kind of proved it.
So let me
with
interject
him
real
because
quick.
I feel like it matters to some women. Like someone like me, you could say something to me, you could say it harsh, but if I get the message, I'm going to go work on myself. I'm going to go, hey, does that apply to me? It might even make me mad because just like I was having a conversation with one of my homegirls, and she was like, "Hey, Ashley, this, that, and the third," and she said some stuff that was like, "Hey," and so I was like, "Oh," I had to take in the conversation. She was like, "Well, there go Ashley getting quiet." I had to take about 15 minutes to myself and think, does that apply to me? Why is that hurting me? What is it about me is hurting? And then after those 15 minutes, then I can say, all right, girl, I'm back in the game, girl. But yep, you were right about this, and now I feel like you were wrong about that. Now it depends on the person, because no matter what I can say, I could yell at you and stomp, rant, rave. I could sit here and be sweet and carry you like a baby. I could do all that. Here, use the other charger.
Yeah, it depends on the person, of course, but like everybody. If you talk down to somebody, like Kevin was doing that at times. When you talk down, hold on, brother. When you talk down to somebody, it don't matter. It don't matter. Listen, it don't matter. Listen, it don't matter the kind of person. If you talk down on some, like that's why I brought up
He
Dame Dash.
wasn't though.
Hold on, I got you. Listen. That's why I brought up Dame Dash in the Breakfast Club. He wasn't cussing. But he was talking down on everybody. He was talking down on everybody that was part of a structure that had a boss. He was like, "Oh, that's your daddy." He wasn't talking. He was talking down, but he wasn't cussing.
Tone and
vocabulary.
Hold on, guys. Yeah, let me just say this. Yeah, let me just say this. Kevin is very respectful when he talks to these women. He don't say, no. In my opinion, he calls, like he said, he calls them ma'am. He don't say you fat pig. He says you're overweight. You need to lose. Like he's not nasty to me. He don't curse at them.
He'd be smacking.
But you know what though, Melody? There's a difference. And here's the thing. I think first of all, I have two things to say really fast, guys. Please let me get through it. There's a difference between tone and vocabulary, right? And that's where people are messing things up, trying to give examples. They keep using bad vocabulary because it's not about the vocabulary, right? Like a tone of voice when someone is being condescending, they can use all the sentence on its face could look perfect, but the tone is condescending. You're going to feel it a different way. So I wanted to address that, but I'm going to say this because I don't know why we're relitigating this. It was litigated in the YouTube streets for like 6 months, and Kevin, I heard him address it, and what he said, and he acknowledged the fact, first of all, women are not actually a monolith, right? So he doesn't need to speak to and have a message that will speak to every single woman on the planet. He only needed, what did he say, 10% for a tipping point? That's all he was shooting for. So what he was talking to was a particular demographic that his particular tone and the things he's addressing and how he's addressing them and the language he's using and all of that was going to be able to reach that demographic. And it's not going to reach all of the women, and maybe it won't reach the other 80% period, but who cares? That wasn't his focus. His focus was on the tipping point demographic he was trying to reach, period. We've already litigated it. He's already admitted. He said, listen, it might not work for the other 80%, but I don't need to work for the other 80%. I only need to work for this 10%.
Wait. No.
But he said, I only need to reach the 10% for a tipping point for change. That's all he was trying to reach. And so
Right.
he already acknowledged that. So like, why are we litigating this again? I don't understand.
Let me answer that. Let me answer that.
Before you answer it, I just want to
Get
read
a
the super
dog die
chat.
alone. Get a
Real
dog die
quick.
alone. Does that sound
Let me read- all right, let me read the super chat and then we can continue. It's okay. So Michael, again with the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. He says, come on, bruh. That average at best chick was below average talking about all these men ain't on her level.
Right.
But
Right.
she thought
Bro,
that she
come
was
on,
making
let me
men.
just
Who's next, Melody?
You, GC, you were actually next.
Right. Can I just make
Okay,
one quick
then
point?
can I go?
Right.
Let's
To
hear
her
you reading
point.
the super chat. After that, can I go?
Yeah. Well, she read it, but to her point though, like why you said like okay, the reason why it came back up, the question of why we're you know what I'm saying debating this situation is because even if he's speaking to the 10%, the remaining 90%, well, let's say 80% are the ones that's celebrating it. So I think it's important to put that out there, like, yo, look, like, okay, yeah, he was catering toward this audience, but somebody has to combat those cats that are taking a lot of stuff he said out of context, you know what I'm saying, and not truly understanding the point. But with that, I thought about.
Okay, thanks for that. So let's have Game Changer.
So Shay, you say that you were carrying most of the burden or all of the burden or whatnot, but didn't you say before that he paid the majority of the major bills or something like that?
That's a different show.
Wait,
no, it ain't.
Real quick,
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
sorry.
They want to make a show with Ash,
Who
right?
are you talking about, Ash? Oh,
I don't know. He
about
going off topic.
Oh, now it's off topic, huh?
No, that's
It
a
is
different
off
show.
topic. We've been established that. Now, if you want to go back into it, we can.
Yes,
Nigga on your
I do.
ass.
That's why I asked the question. So
Okay, let's get it.
Yeah, go for it.
This girl, bro.
Could you answer the question? That's what it is. That's what.
Yes, he was paying. Yes, he was paying major bills.
Okay, so what do you mean when you say you carried most of the burden if he was paying the major bills?
What do you mean? I paid
meant
just the
wait,
exact same thing as far as when it came to investing, saving, putting up the kids, cooking, everything, cleaning. I did everything. So on top of him paying, we both had a job that paid. Wait a minute. We both had a job that paid the same amount. We both worked at the same. He worked at night, and I worked in the day. We did not share responsibilities, even though he was paying bigger bills. Doesn't matter that he was paying bigger bills. All our stuff equaled to the same amount. I really paid most of it because sometimes he would sit there and say, "Oh, my check was short. Oh, my check was short. I need you to pay this part or something like that. I'll have to come through." Then he need gas in his car. I make sure gas in your car. Something go wrong with your car. I make sure that your car's straight. I ain't asking no questions or nothing like that. But then you can go out there and you can have a man. And wait a minute. Then you can have a man answer. Now, because you said you wanted to hear. Then when you take my car, you take your car, drive it to your job. Then take my car. You take my car. Hold on. Take my car and drive it wherever you're driving it. But then a man answers the phone, sound like a tranny. Oh, this his car. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Wait a minute. Whoa, see, now she's taking it somewhere else.
Okay.
Bro.
Yeah, now she over there.
I know. Really, we have to take. Okay.
Let's talk about the very interesting interview. I can't wait.
Can I respond? Please? All right, thank you. Thank you. So, fellas, want y'all to see what happened here. Basically, no matter what you do, they will take all the credit.
What?
Yeah.
Please don't interrupt. East, Ash, please mute up if you can't interrupt. Now, notice how she said, "Oh yes, he paid the bills, but I did this. I put gas in the car. I saved money and blah 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 blah." They will never give you credit for what you do, and they will always ask for you to do more. They will.
I didn't give him no credit. Why would I give you any credit when I'm angry by myself right now?
I did
Let's
not
do one at a
interrupt you.
time.
Please do not interrupt
When
me.
he's finished, then you can respond. Okay, go ahead, GC.
Thank you. So he did all of the stuff. He paid the majority of the bills. He paid the major bills, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But he didn't pay the majority.
Could you not talk? And then,
I'm just correcting you.
And then when the credit, when it was time to take credit for the rearing of the children, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you hear stuff like, I took on all the burden. I did this, and now all of a sudden he's some type of El Gibbet, or he's some type of deviant of some sort because I feel it's necessary to diminish his character. At the same time, while she's attempting to do this, she is also saying that Black men need, or Black men should care about single mothers. Single
What?
mothers like herself.
You did say
Single
that.
mothers who chose to be
No,
a
I
single
never said that. I was talking about race.
Silence.
Is what I
Excuse me,
said.
please do not interrupt.
Talk
You
to
are a
them,
single
too.
mother, so a single mother would be like yourself. Now, anyway,
Never
she's
asked now
saying
one of
that
y'all
we
hoes
should
care about
care
me.
about people like this. Fellas, no matter what, they will always attempt to shame you. They
Well, go
will
get you a
always attempt
man. Go
to
get you a man.
besmirch. They will always attempt to besmirch the good name of Black men, and
Yeah,
while at
go
the
get
same
go get
time
you a man.
demanding more shit. They want
Right.
you to
So go
sympathize with them
to kill
while
all
they
that. Go get
constantly
you a
do shit
man.
like
That's what
this to
y'all want
you.
anyway. Go get you a
Would you
man.
shut the fuck up?
Hold on.
No.
Would you
Respond
shut
to
the fuck
let
up?
me finish and then you respond. Because
Yes,
we can't
thank
hear
you.
him speak.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
You're
Gigi.
constantly interrupting because this
Come
is
on,
her
man.
attempt. This is her attempt to silence the truth that is being spewed. See, they do
No.
not like
Right.
this aspect of the truth to come out. This aspect of she is not fit for sympathy. She is not fit for caring. You should not give a shit about somebody like this. And the reason being is because she does not give a shit about you or the plight of any Black man. No matter what you do for her, she will take all the credit. If you gave her through a GoFundMe $1 million right now, Black men, she will not come out and say, oh, Black men gave me this $1 million through GoFundMe to help raise
Wow.
my bastards. No,
Right.
what she will say is she will say that, yes, I made a miracle every Thanksgiving
Yep.
by buying this house and putting food on the table.
I'm a
So
boss bitch.
if you
It's all
expect to
speculation,
get
GC.
credit, or you expect to get rewarded, or if you expect to get championed by a woman like this for helping her with her single mother plight that she admittedly put on herself, you are drastically insensitive.
I got a question
Can
though
I
for
talk
Ash.
now?
I
Can
got
I
a
talk
question
now?
for
Yeah,
I got a
let her
question for you though.
respond and then let her respond and then you can
Okay.
ask the question. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Okay, so this is my thing. One, you don't know who I am. You don't
You
know
just told me who
anything
you were.
about me except for
Who
what
got
I've
You just told
told
me a lot
you.
about you.
who got the air in the background?
No, I'm out in the wind. Now,
So you holding your wig as you talking right now?
She's going for
I
a
mean,
run, bro.
you just told me about yourself.
no, I didn't
GC,
tell
that
you
was
anything about what I would do if someone were to donate money to me. You don't know anything about who I am. Just like I could say that you like
Well,
men.
I
You
do
like
know.
No,
I
men.
do
you.
know that
Why
the
we
That's
going?
how
father
I
of your
feel.
children has
That's
been
a
The
giving
whole
to
I
a
Black
lot
hate
of
black
that was
women. Oh, this the
speculation
type
though.
of black woman. Wait a minute, because that's
You
what he
gotta
did.
be
He just
gay.
stipulated on me, and ain't nobody stop him when he did it on me.
You gotta
Melody,
be
was
gay.
was
That shit
GC's tone
crazy.
wrong?
You gotta be gay.
No,
Like
his
that
tone
shit
was not
crazy.
wrong.
Fuck out of
His
here.
tone is a trigger. It was petty to me. It was petty.
That G word is a trigger word. You can get my whole platform shut down. Please don't use that word. The G word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Go
what
ahead.
do I use? What do I use?
Well,
Queer.
Why
Okay,
you
I
gotta
would
say
say,
it?
yeah.
because simple and plain, I'm a man hater, right?
Butt smuggler.
Well, don't call him the
Wow.
G word. I mean, he didn't call you a G word or anything like that. He just said Black women like you. You are a Black woman. So
Michael
that's,
Jackson.
but he's not G. So let's not do that.
A booty bandit. Say
And the
booty
tone
bandit.
was spoken correctly by
It's the
GC.
tone. This dude.
All right. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ash. Ash, did she leave?
I hope so.
Her shit must have borged out. I wanted to ask her a question though.
Nah, you can. Matter of fact, you could just ask me a whole bunch of questions on the other show, cause like I really want to get down with old dude, like for real. Because simple and plain, he not finna sit here and tear my character up like that, because you don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about the things that he put me through. You don't know anything about the whole relationship. Okay. So if I decide
I
as
don't
a
know what you
woman,
put him through,
if I
but you
decide,
tore his character up.
exactly, you don't. So
But
what
you
about
tore
his
his
character? You
character
don't
up,
know his
right?
name. You don't know his name. You don't know
Real
who he is.
We're gonna have the show that we have, guys. We can have all right. So the interview we can have it debate style. We'll have GC and you, since y'all both are going against each other.
I
Y'all
want some
can
of that
debate.
too.
Y'all
I
can
want some of
debate
that
each
too.
other. Well, you can come on in. Me and Ruby don't mind that, do we, Ruby?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
let's
love
first.
that.
Well, first we'll do an interview segment, right? So we can get her full story out there. Then we'll have a debate between her and GC, and then we'll have the open panel or call in.
I want to know why he's
People
single.
can
I
call
want
in
to
and
know
ask
why
questions.
GC
There you
That's
go.
what
I
we'll
want to know
do.
why GC single.
I
I
got
want to know where
100
his
for that.
women at. I want to know where your women at, or where your blow up doll at. I want to know where it's at.
Wow.
Well, we gonna say.
Wow.
Well, hold on.
Okay,
We gotta.
fair question.
Okay, go ahead. Y'all
Wow.
crazy.
Fair
That's
question.
a fair question.
No, she asked a
Well, we
question.
can go
I'll
there.
answer. She asked a question. I'll answer. In the Southern Bay of California.
In the Southern Bay of California, where are you? Is it an internet thing?
In the Eastern Bay of California.
Is it an internet thing?
No, it's not. I'm in the East Bay. She's in the South Bay.
Oh yeah, so y'all ain't even together for real.
Well, we don't live together.
Is it a man?
Man,
Or is
who
it
has all
somebody?
that wind?
All right, it's a lot of win, y'all.
The chick with the bag weave. That's who does.
Hey, how
I
about
don't
this?
wear weave. I don't wear weave.
How about this? Why don't we do this? Let's save this for the show. When are you available? Are you available this Tuesday coming up, Ash?
I don't know because I do run businesses and I do
She
work.
gonna be out on the track.
Okay. How about late
Tuesday
at night?
evening,
Like
Monday
an
evening,
evening, late at night.
Thursday evening.
I'm really
I could
supposed
do
to be
Thursday.
busy right now, but it just caught me.
All right. Yeah, because Ruby and I we do our shows on Tuesday, and I would like that to be on our show. But if not, then we'll set something else up. Definitely, where me and Ruby can just do
I
it on a
see
different day.
chemistry. I feel chemistry coming from
Thursday.
Ash
I
and
could do
GC.
Thursday next week. So
Next,
available
yeah,
Thursday.
just email me. Just email me.
Don't you
I
feel
will
the chemistry
email you.
though?
I'm about to go, but there's not chemistry. There's probably
You a
animosity
Scorpio?
because he definitely hate me.
You a Scorpio?
We don't hate you.
No,
So
GC and Ash got a chemistry going. You know, it could blossom into something. You might be a Cancer, she a Scorpio.
No.
Nah,
That
there's
is
no.
not what I
I don't
heard.
think there's.
I
I
heard
don't
no
think there's
chemistry at
any
all.
chemistry there.
No.
But guys, it's getting late. We're at the 3 hour mark, so I want to start final thoughts with Classy Young Man. What are your final thoughts? Oh wait, let me read these super chats before we do final thoughts. Thank you, Elion, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And thanks again for the super chat. He says, how to get back on. Well, I'll drop the link for you. That way we can do final thoughts. But I want to start with Classy Young Man. Classy, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, you can go ahead and give your final thoughts.
Well, I've said everything that I had to say about KS yesterday on your last show. I just want to say, as an adult, we're all responsible for our own actions and who we choose in our lives and how we take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
That's all I have. Thank you.
And rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. You forgot about that.
Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, my alumni brother, Boomer Sooner for life.
Yes, we love you, Kevin. Okay. Oh, is this a new person coming up? Hold up. Before we finish final thoughts, I don't know how to say your name. The new person that just came up, what's your name?
See through you.
I can't see it because I'm on the phone. See through you? Are you there?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Well, she's not saying anything, so I'm going to remove her for now because that's creepy. I don't know if she's a troll. But let's have Young East. What are your final thoughts?
R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. I had no quarrels with him. I know everybody think I do because of the tone, but I don't know. Everything he is saying was factual. It's just I know how women are, like especially women from our community, like the way they take information sometimes is like you gotta almost like spoon feed some of them. Some of them take it well, some of them don't. You feel me? And I feel like that's where most of the backlash is coming from. It's not so much what he say, because every dude in the manosphere say what he say. So it's not so much so what he say is like when he come down harshly on the real, how can I say, the real trolls that pop up in his on the show. Some of them girls just be trolling. So he comes down harshly on them, and every other chick take that like as a slight. So that's why I think all of this, like you got sisterhood chicks dancing on his grave, quote unquote, you know, all of that bullshit. I think all of it's coming from how he said what he said. You know what I'm saying? The rhetoric was like, yeah, the rhetoric was tough love, but how he said what he said made the emotion come out of a lot of chicks. So I feel like that's where the bad energy came from. But aside from all of that, R.I.P. GC. I mean R.I.P.
No, don't say that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. Like, he didn't deserve none of that shit. Like, I hope that I don't know. I just hope that like we ain't got to be so toxic about this shit. Like the whole like it shouldn't cause us to be extra toxic. But that's all I gotta say.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your final thoughts. Let me see. See through you. Can you please cam up for me in the back? You don't have to cam up where everybody can see you, but just turn the cam on, just so I can. Let me see your face. No, everyone can't see you. Only me. I'm the only one who can see you. Okay. All right. Let me put you on.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. I was really just wanted to tell your mod J-Lock to stop timing me out, because I'm really not saying anything out of line at all. Like, I don't get disrespectful. I was simply just saying something that just came out in reports about Kevin Samuels, and I simply feel like he was a hypocrite based off of what I know now, because I didn't know this previous. But it's coming out that the girl he was with was a plus size girl, also a nurse, and I'm a nurse. So when Kevin Samuels used to tell men to stay away from nurses and big girls and all of this, I find it hilarious that he's a hypocrite.
Well, that makes it true because I found pictures. Whoa, hold on. I have something to say about that. I found pictures. Hold on, I already found pictures of this girl, and she looks young, hot, and Spanish.
No, I didn't say she wasn't hot. I didn't say that.
She ain't fat either. She's hot.
She's a plus size. Hold on, plus size. It's not about your belly hanging over your stomach.
She ain't plus size, girl. I'm looking at a picture of her right now. And she's not plus size.
I done seen a bunch of pictures of her. She's definitely the fact of the matter is people consider me plus size, but I'm not. Because I wear a size 14, but I'm very bottom heavy.
Size 14?
Plus size.
Yes, and I'm very bottom heavy, but my stomach is flat. Hold on. My stomach, I'm very bottom heavy. I have a nice butt. So when I wear certain clothes, because of that, like for instance, I just went to H&M to buy a pair of mom jeans. I had to get a size 14 in those, versus when I go to Zara's to buy a pair of jeans, it's not the same. It's a size a size 30, which is not a 14. So what I'm just trying to say is, plus size does not have anything to do with your ass. Sorry, I didn't mean to say ass. But what I'm saying is she's a plus size woman. Yes, she is.
I'm looking at her right now. She's not.
I'm looking at her too, Ruby. She's a plus size.
What plus size?
She's a nurse. She's a nurse.
I look at the name in the chat. I put the name in the private chat.
Yeah, the name is in chat. She's also a nurse, someone that Kevin Samuels was adamant for men to stay away from.
But do you know why?
For a long-term relationship.
It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter why. He preached to you guys.
She's not plus size though. She's not even a size 14. Maybe a size 8.
Do me a favor. Somebody pull up her picture. Somebody share the screen and pull up her picture.
Let me see if I can share it.
It don't matter.
Google her.
Again, though, he was saying
it don't matter. I just want to see.
Relationship,
It
though.
shouldn't matter.
He never said we're going to avoid them just to have a light relationship with.
Yeah, you
There's-
This woman is gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Well,
and
no,
young
her face.
and
Hold
hot.
on. I'm not. Hold on, Ruby. I'm not.
So,
I know plenty of plus size, beautiful,
and not trying to
beautiful
dig up
women.
on him, since we are
See through
honoring
you.
his memory and not trying to dig up dirt on him, do you have anything?
He was talking about regarding
When you are in the
long-term
spotlight,
relationship.
unfortunately, when you're in the spotlight, dirt. That you already know how the media goes.
Let me just hold on, guys.
It's also being reported that he was using cocaine allegedly.
You can't confirm that.
She messed up. She messed up bad when she said that. I was gonna ask her.
You drop him down?
No,
you can't confirm
she
that.
messed up before that. You need
Did I
to know
drop
when to
out someone else?
No.
She messed up before that.
No, she was a thickie. That's a thickie right there.
Yeah, of course.
That's thick right there.
Oh, y'all
Yeah.
looking at the
Don't
picture?
Plus
matter.
size.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
Nelly,
I
you
would
gotta be
give her the
quicker on the
BBW
trigger
a
with
little
stuff
bit.
like
Well,
that.
send
It's
me a picture.
obvious that she
Maybe
came
send
up.
me a picture in my email.
But again,
I will.
understand this is somebody randomly saying like, "Oh yeah, this is the
I'd have
chick that he was
smashed too,
dating."
nigga.
Fuck out of here.
You're
Can
too
I let me
gorgeous.
give my closing
Oh, I gotta
thoughts
say
real
it.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead and do your closing. Wait,
Again,
I'm sorry.
I'd have
I
bottomed
have
her
some
out.
super chats to read before we do those. Thank you, Young J216, for the super chat. He says, she's a known troll who goes around the manosphere daily, Melody. I have her pick. She is not plus size at all. Oh, the lady who was just up? Yeah, I'm not worried about her. But thank you so much for that super chat. And we have Zeno FHD TV. He says, thank you so much for that super chat. He says, false. He said most nurses possesses a certain personality type that's not conductive for cooperation. He didn't say stay away from nurses completely. Thank you. Facts. I did hear him say that. I really did. Thanks for that. So now let's
Right,
get
just like he
to
didn't say, because you know what? Here's the thing. Also didn't say stay away from women who have PhDs and whatever. In fact, he said he only dates the professional woman. Right, but there's this issue, right, with women who get a PhD, focus on school and put that above everything else, and then have certain types of beliefs and attitudes. And so it was the belief and attitude that was the problem, not the fact that she's in a particular profession or whatever. It was just he was saying there's an association between certain types of dysfunctional thoughts or behavior or whatever in certain professions or levels of education currently, but that at the same time he said he only dates professional women. So I don't know why people are acting like he didn't say these things. Like, I'm all down for if you want to say something but like he literally already admitted this. Again, why are you trying to relitigate it like he didn't say it publicly on his own platform already? Like, it's crazy.
Right.
Right,
Well,
Ruby. And
who's next? You're right about that, Ruby.
I just want to say something right quick, Melody. That's one of the reasons why I timed her ass up. But that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, I knew she was coming up with false narrative and shit. Like, J-Lo, I know what happened. I know a group what happened. She's not plus size. I seen the pic. She's a beautiful Latina chick.
Look, this dude, he shares.
I sent you the picture, Melody, so you can look in.
I've seen her on Instagram.
Okay,
I've seen
yeah,
her chick on
I'll
Instagram.
definitely look.
She's a Latina chick. She's very
Is
simple.
she voluptuous?
I'm sure she is gorgeous. Kevin Samuels only mess with beautiful women, so I do believe
I
that.
said voluptuous.
Yeah. So
Voluptuous.
and to Ruby's point,
Voluptuous, I'm sorry.
when he mentioned those career fields, all he said was, "Fellas, listen." And I dated a nurse, actually a couple, and some PhDs or whatever. He was just warning us about the mentality that comes with, dating these type of women. That's all it was, right? His whole channel, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things I wanted to end with was like he was invited here, and I heard this on shout out to the one of the habitual line steppers, you know what I'm saying? Kev's channel, Black Man Being Brutally Honest. You know what I'm saying? They had a great conversation last night, and he talked about how all he did was kind of like put things out there. Like, hey, listen, if you want to deal with these type, because people forget, I was there when he was talking about the perfume, and I learned about the double mount strap shoes and the cologne and all of that like years ago.
Yeah, he was the guy for that.
BGS asked him to come over to our space the same way that we have Dr. Tia San Johnson, you know what I'm saying, Dr. O'Neill and some of the other Green Gorilla, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people were asked to come over here. So it hits some of us different because this man took a charge on, he didn't have nothing to do with this space. And he was like, okay, you know what? I see there's a need, you know what I'm saying? There's a void here. And okay, maybe there was some financial gain, but somebody else made another point. Even if there was money to be made, he was so busy putting out content, focusing on the message. A lot of people say it's not like he made a bunch of money and then left and then retired. Unless he's on some Tupac shit right now. But if he genuinely like passed away while he was doing work, the other brother said, hey, listen, the message that we're trying to put out as the Black Manosphere, it's not being received. Maybe somebody like you, and we had like that AMSs and all these other cats that was talking the game shit. Now you got a brother that's more refined. Obsidian was here before that, and he considers himself to be a refined, distinguished gentleman. Well, nobody trying to hear what the fuck he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Now here comes Kevin, clean cut, tall. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to speak to people, how to sell products, etc. Again, this is just my perspective. He was asked to come to this space and do this. So he was pushed up and he took everything that we have been talking about already for 2 or 3, some people 10 years before, when it was like, you know, on blogs or whatever. And he became the face of it. So that hit a lot of people hard. But for people that's listening, I want y'all to understand that there was a history and a context and why like brothers are taking this so hard, because it was like, finally, we got a voice. He started making it mainstream. They talking about him on TV. They talking about him on talk shows. They talking about him on other popular podcasts who were already famous people. Now everybody's getting the podcast stuff. So he had a place. You know what I'm saying? But now that that's gone, I don't know what's going to happen now. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully his message will carry on. I don't think there'll be anybody to take his place. There's been some talks about that. But I did have a problem with people celebrating his death.
Yeah,
like
that
I
was
wouldn't
fucked up.
put that on anybody. Like that was a bad look to me.
Yeah.
I got something else to say,
With that,
Melanie.
I'm done though.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
got
y'all.
something else to say if I could go.
All right. Thank you for that, DJ Mac. I really appreciate it. Go ahead. Your turn. Final thoughts.
Yeah, in my opinion, I know speculation right now, but this is not some accident. I don't think this is an accident at all. I think this is a murder case, and that that woman he was with, that's a suspicious character. I just looked up her Instagram. I'm gonna keep it a band with you. I don't even think it's a her. I think that might have been a.
Don't do that.
No, I'm this is my speculation. I'm not gonna say the words, but this is. I don't think this is a simple. Listen. I don't think this is a simple accident. I don't think this is an accident.
Yeah, but I know, but don't call it her, he, or nothing like that. Because it looks like a woman to me. But go ahead.
It looks like it, but that name, that's not even a regular woman's
You
name.
let too much shit go.
That's not even a regular woman's name. That's an alias. That's an alias. This is a real suspicious case, Melanie. This is really suspicious. That shit it's damn near a hit. That's what I think. And I think said person that was with him, I'm telling you, that was premeditated. I think that was a hit. I think something is real funny with that. And I don't think it's a girl. I don't think it's a girl.
All right. Thank you so much.
Be like that. All right.
Don't do that, Young East. You already know we can't do that on this panel. We can't do that.
Yeah, I know. But if it come out, I said it first.
All
That's
right.
what I think.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks. And Elian, did you go?
No, I did not.
Okay, go ahead.
My final thoughts. Can't really say much regarding to what's going on with the details of Kevin Samuels dying, so I'm not gonna go there or anything of that sort. We can't. It was just a sad passing, because honestly, like, it was a sad passing. What I want to say is that us as a culture, it's not just black, white, Mexican, whatever. Us as a culture, everybody that is having eyes onto this space. 2 things. One, the ones that are seeing this with open eyes, we have a responsibility to really go ahead and help kind of control this narrative to be in open eyes, not in biased views, not in emotional views. It needs to be viewed factually regarding to what happened, what he did, everything. Have to do that. We have to control the narrative, not even in just this situation, but as a whole in everything. We have to control these situations, because if not, as you see from like that one caller who was saying like he possibly had drugs and everything else, it's those narratives that sometimes get the bigger headlines, the more views, because it's spicy. But still, we have to go ahead and control the narrative to be unbiased at the end of the day. My second point is to everyone that wants to go ahead and talk bad or hate or congratulating, praising. I'm not even going to say his death, a man's death. Like, everybody needs to think about that for a second. Really marinate on that. Because for everyone who's like, yay, ha, he did, da 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 da. If a person came up to you and said, I hope you die, marinate on this. How are you going to feel about that? How would you feel if a group of people just came up to you and say, I hope you die? How would you feel if the world came to you and said, I hope you die? Think about that. And you did not do nothing wrong into the equivalency of people in that magnitude to everyone even say something like that. Y'all need to really think about that, because that's what y'all prove more of his point regarding to that we need therapy, we need healing, we need self-reflection, because nobody ever wants, unless you have a certain mindset, we won't, and I'm going to say that, get into that part, say that. But for the normal, you don't want that type of pressure on you. You don't even want that type of word or verbiage coming onto you. So think about that regarding to that you are happy that a man died. Not if it's Kevin Samuels or whoever. A man died. And especially a man who, honestly, if you really look at it, he was trying to do something that no one else really was doing. Especially into the level that he was doing it at. Tone or whatever. There wasn't. And that's all I got to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that final thought. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, so it's Ruby, it's Game Changer, and it's me. You will be seeing us doing content together. So look out for that. This is the dream team right here. We just missing Blue. He part of the dream team. So I just wanted to let y'all know that. So Game Changer, what's your take on this for your final thoughts?
I mean, I really wish that this was handled differently, Melody. I mean, death is a very delicate thing, and you allowed a lot of undelicate people speak for longer than they should have been allowed to speak, in my opinion. I mean, this was not, which would not be the proper way to honor a person's life. So we could talk about that later. Nevertheless, about the single mother aspect of it. So, fellas, I want y'all to pay close attention to what just transpired here and what the behavior of the detractors of Kevin Samuels, how that unfolded. So we have a woman who chose to be a single mother and put her potential investments in career over her children. She said that she got rid of the father of her child because his way of life or what have you did not help with her investments. Now she's going to throw in a bunch of stuff so we can side with her, but we're only getting one side of the story. And from that side of the story was she kicked her baby father out for her own monetary gain. Then so she can later brag about said monetary gain. This is what you're dealing with when you deal with when you bring certain single mothers into your life. In addition to the burden of another person's children, you also have the burden of the personality that led her to become a single mother in the first place. And in this case, this was somebody who chose her own financial interest over that of the future of the children, the stability of the house. And furthermore, she tried to blame Black men for not caring about somebody like that. She got rid of the the half of the children's village. She deliberately did this, and then she is asking for everybody else to chip in so that she can later receive the credit for what you have chipped in for. Fellas, beware of women like this. And be aware of women like this. So thanks for having me, Melody. Greatly appreciate you.
And thanks for coming. And Ruby, and then I'll go. What are your final thoughts, Ruby?
Okay, well, I mean, just looking at the chat even now, what I see is a lot of people have always gotten really their news from social media and what their favorite content creators have to say about whatever's going on in the news, and nobody fact checks anything. Nobody goes and I don't know, say reads the reports for themselves or whatever. And so, even just the misinformation that they've already ruled it a heart attack because he black man is already written off. Well, no, what people did, content creators did, was they actually went and read the reports, which you could do yourself. They're available online. Saw the circumstances, which included the woman saying he had been complaining of chest pain. He collapsed on her. She went to go get a defibrillator while help was coming. And then the report also says he did, in fact, go to the hospital, right? And so as of right now, we don't know anything else other than that. Anything else beyond that is actually speculation or
Right.
opinions or whatever it is, right? The chick who was identified, right? She deleted her Instagram quick. And I don't blame her, because I would not want to be anywhere near this clusterfuck, excuse my language, of people coming at you who hate him, who love him, whatever. And, I think we need to be a little bit more careful. Like, we look at celebrities, right? And Kevin Samuels is a YouTube celebrity, and he was crossing over into the mainstream, right? And we look at celebrities like they're objects, right? They're not actually like people, they're objects. They're the character that they play, that you love, that you support. And we feel like we have ownership over, our celebrities as a result. They're because I give you support, or because I give you the clicks, likes, and views, because I give you fame by talking about you, therefore I own you. We don't own these people, first of all. Second of all, whoever he was on YouTube and whoever he was a content creator or whatever. He was an actual human being who had an actual family and an actual life, right? And he actually died. And I would argue at 56 years old, right? That is, 57 years old. That's before your time, right? That is a tragic loss. It's a tragic death. And I think what we do need to do, right? I understand people are going to have their opinions. People liked him or hated him. People are going to want to cover it. Fine. But like, we need to stop talking about it like, he's an object instead of a whole human being who has family, who has, children, like there's kids in his family, right? That are going to be going onto the internet because, the internet rules all of our lives, and they're going to be seeing y'all talking, right? Just remember the effects of what you're saying and the reach of social media, and that it's not just to entertain your friends and your family and other followers. It's also going to be reaching his family, right? It's also going to be reaching his people, his best friends, his frat brothers, people who've known him for decades, for a lifetime. Like, we're so callous and careless these days, and social media has made us even more so. We need to be a little bit more careful with the misinformation and propaganda that we are willing to spread, how we're willing to cover things, how we're willing to talk about people, and not just in their death, but also in their life. Like, we don't care. We don't care about the outcome of anything that comes out of our mouths anymore, anything we type. We don't care about the effect. We don't care about how it impacts people's real lives, real families, real futures. We don't care. We just talk because it's going to get us more likes, more laughs, more popularity, more whatever, right? We'll be more quotable today. Like, it is really disgusting. And if anything, this is just showing us like how much we've fallen into the gutter in a lot of ways, how we can't even just stay on topic for a few hours to say, hey, listen, this content creator we all have known for a long time, he died, this is sad, let's talk about it. And then just keep it respectful, keep it peaceful. It's sad, y'all. We need to do better. We really need to do better. Those are my final thoughts.
Well, thank you, Ruby. And I'm going to make this short because I got to go. But this is a really, 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 really sad time right now. Rest in peace Kevin Samuels. You will truly be missed. I understand what you're saying, Game Changer, about how I should have handled it differently by not letting people come up and speak negatively. But I didn't just let them come up and speak negatively. They had their opinion, and everybody told them they were wrong.
Yeah, Melody, if it's a negative opinion and you let them have it, then you allow them to speak negatively. That's what that means.
Okay, well, I didn't do it on purpose, and I feel like we'll talk about it later. But thank you everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out, and peace.